is the professional grade products you need to get the job done. With fast delivery you can depend on and access to technical product experts ready to help you meet any challenge. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by.
Arizona Sports, the local sports leader. Burns and Gambo starts now.
Straight up to 13 on this Thursday afternoon. Good afternoon, and welcome into today's edition of the Burns and Gambo Show. Here on Arizona Sports, the local sports leader. My name is Dave Burns, alongside the one, the only, John Gambadoro. Hi, Gambo.
Burnsy, what's going on?
James McCann's.
Again.
Four games this season.
Can we not watch him pitch anymore? Is there a way to, not have him pitch? This is ridiculous.
It was cute. Like the first time when he's throwing in those ephus pitches, you go,
Yeah.
okay, this is kind of cute. By time number 4, it's like, oh my God, are we doing this again?
Yeah, here we go.
Really? We're doing this again, huh?
He's got an ERA of 11.25 on the season. He gave up one run today. He did get a double, walked 2, gave up a hit, a run. Got a double play to get out of the inning. Got a double play to get out of it. But, another really poor start by a starting pitcher.
Yeah, we're gonna get into.
So it's just, damn.
All things Diamondbacks, as we're going to kind of, for lack of a better word, kind of like reset our show a little bit here. And then at 2:30, we're going to get right into what Matt Ishbia had to say about Devin Booker at their season-ending press conference today.
And then he will be on with us later.
He'll be on with us today. We're thinking somewhere in the 4 o'clock hour. We're not quite sure when, but we know he's going to join us today, and we'll have a one-on-one with Matt Ishbia.
Sometime between 4 and 5. I can't give you an exact time. He flew back to Michigan, so we're going to get him when he lands.
So we're looking forward to that conversation. I kind of had a feeling that we'd be able to get Matt on the show when the season was over. We did, but we got to talk about the state of this baseball team. Let's weigh in on the top story of the day here on the Burns and Gambo Show.
Burns and Gambo, the weigh-in.
As the 0-2 is cut on and missed, Woodford with a perfect ninth. He strikes out 2, and the Brewers win this one by a final score of 13-1. They humble the Diamondbacks in the rubber match. And for the D-backs, it is off to Chicago.
Yeah, but we got 2 games to talk about. The great one that we saw last night, the awful one we saw today. Dealer's choice. You pick. Whichever one you want to start with, we can talk about.
Let's start with yesterday, because they first of all, they lose the series to the Brewers. They lost the first game. They bounced back yesterday, and Erod's not great again, but an outstanding effort by the bullpen, and another great game by Nolan Arenado. But I'll start with the bullpen, because I thought, I thought Erod was just okay. He had a 25-pitch first inning, gave up a couple doubles, a 2-out walk. He just didn't pitch very well. But the bullpen came in, and Ginkgo came in, relieved Rodriguez, got the final out of the 5th. Then he pitched a really good 6th inning. Then Taylor Clark came in, and your guy Juan Murillo was fantastic. And then Sewald comes in, non-save situation, and he retires the side in order, and they come away with a 6-2 win. So major credit to the bullpen yesterday for getting that done. Erod was not sharp again, but he was okay, and the bullpen came in and they closed the door.
The one thing, and no, Erod wasn't sharp. The one thing I'll give him credit for yesterday was that he was able to avoid the big inning. Despite the pitch count getting up there, and despite the number of pitches that he threw, he was able to get out of a couple of situations that could have gotten sideways on him and could have really turned into some crooked numbers. And I'll give Erod a little bit of credit for never allowing the brush fire to get out of control in a lot of those innings. The bullpen was spectacular. You call him my guy Murillo. I with each passing moment, I think he might be the closer of the future of this baseball team, and certainly the way Torrey deployed him yesterday, it's very obvious. Saving for him for the 2, 3, 4 hitters in that lineup, the worst part of it, the heaviest lift of the Brewers offense. And I get the Brewers offense isn't all that great, but you're saving your best guy for the best moment, and I think Murillo has been lined up for that when it comes to wherever he's going to be deployed. I thought Kevin Ginkgo was fantastic yesterday, too.
Great to see him
3 strikeouts in an inning and a third. I thought he was really good. Very nice to see Paul Sewald not have to pitch in to see him succeed, this is what I want to say, to see him succeed in a non-save situation. Because that's been a little dicey for him. Yeah. And while as glad as I was to see Cattell and Corbin hit the home runs in the 9th to give them that breathing room, I also got a little nervous because I thought, okay, here goes Paul Sewald in a situation where it's not all on the line, and maybe he doesn't have that adrenaline spike of coming into a safe situation. And he was great. He mowed down the Milwaukee Brewers, and he was just fine.
And a good offense. I mean, another home run by Nolan Arenado. Del Castillo homered, Marte homered, Carroll homered. Going into today, Nolan Arenado was on a tear last 14 games. He was batting .404 with 5 homers and 15 RBIs and hitting .380 with runners in scoring position. So he had been on a little bit of a heater right there going into today's game. And I went to the gym today. I just set the treadmill on a high incline and I just walked, and I watched the game. Well, I was at the gym. I didn't want to run because, it's hard to watch the game when you're running. But so I just did a long walk on an incline to just be able to watch the game. And it wasn't a great game today. I mean, Soroka was not good. He had a really high pitch count in the first inning. But then Woodruff had to come out of the game. His velocity was like 76. And he's like, I got to get out of this game. So it was a really, really long first inning. But in the end, the Diamondbacks get clobbered and they lose the series.
The biggest takeaway right now from this series, and I think the state of Diamondbacks baseball in general right now, is that these starters are simply not getting deep enough into these games. And it's just causing a cascade of problems for Torey Lovullo and the Diamondbacks. I mean, they're just, because of that, the bullpen is taxed. Because of that, guys are being used in situations where they're not at their best, where their appearances are starting to build up, where their innings are starting to build up. We're not even in May, and we're already talking about an overworked bullpen that needs a little bit of a break. And it's largely because, I'm going to give you the numbers here, because I've got them right in front of me.
Okay.
These are the innings the Diamondbacks starters have given the team since Michael Soroka threw 7 innings back on April 17th. Today is April 30th. So since April 17th, when Soroka gave him 7.
Yeah.
A third of an inning, 4 1/3, 5, 3. That's the Gallen injury. 5 from Nelson, 5 from Merrill Kelly, 4 2/3 for Erod last night, 3 from Soroka today. So again, 3, 4 2/3, 5, 3, 5, 4 1/3.
Nobody over 5.
Nobody over 5.
Not one start, even 5 1/3.
One starter has gone longer than 5 innings for the Diamondbacks.
How many starts is that total?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 starts.
Okay. How many of those 9 starts did the pitcher throw under 5 innings?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Wow.
5 of the 9. 5 of the 9.
Man, you're going to burn out your bullpen. You're going to burn out your bullpen.
It's the biggest problem facing the Diamondbacks right now.
That's why McCann's throwing so much.
Yeah. And
I got to save an inning from somebody somewhere. I have to.
Torey Lovullo afterwards, and we're teasing. I mean, we're mostly teasing about McCann. I am sick of seeing him. But Torey Lovullo, rightfully so, credited James McCann for being a pro's pro.
Totally. I hate having a position player pitching games. I do not like it at all. Probably one of my least favorite things in baseball. But when you ask a position player to go out there and give you that extra inning so you're all gassed up for the next city, this case Chicago, it was great. It was a fantastic job. And he never bats an eye. I can cold call him and have him go in a game without stretching. Never blinks. I can ask him to pitch. I can ask him to do anything. He's just a great teammate.
AZ Snake Pit points out on Twitter, James McCann, keep in mind, Gambo, it's April 30th.
Okay.
James McCann has tied the single-season record for pitching appearances by an Arizona position player. On April 30th, he has already tied the single-season record.
Who had the record?
Same position. You remember?
What catcher? No, I mean, I don't remember, no.
Carson Kelly.
Really?
Carson Kelly did it back in 2022. Single season record, according to AZ Snake Pit. And those guys know what they're talking about over there. Carson Kelly in 2022 had 4 appearances as a position player.
Okay.
James McCann has already tied it. And the problem, and our own Alex Winder points this out, the problem has been in the first inning. I'm throwing a lot of numbers at everybody right now, but pitches needed in the first inning for Diamondbacks pitchers against Milwaukee.
Today was like 35?
35. 25, 28.
Yeah, you're not going long.
You're setting yourself up for, so not only
you're out of the game by the 4th inning.
Does the problem start with the starters not getting deep enough? The problem really starts with the starters not being efficient in the first inning, setting up the rest of their appearance for a borderline disaster because they just throw too many pitches in the first inning and it takes them too long to get out of it. So, I don't know, Gambo. State of Diamondbacks baseball right now, they're still hanging in there. They're still doing everything that we asked of them big picture, but I think they're 3-6 now in their last 9 games, and most of that is tied to their starters' inability to give them decent numbers.
Yeah, there's no question it's a problem that can't continue because you'll wear your bullpen out by June or July. McCann's pitched that's 4 innings you don't have on your bullpen. But these starters, and I think there's been so you could have made an argument to get Soroka out of the game in the first inning today after 35. He was terrible. Like you could have made that argument. He now came back and he did better in the second inning. And I think some of these guys have to bite the bullet too. Like, hey, I can't pull you out of the game after the first inning. Second inning, I need you to go 4 or 5. You have to take it on the chin, even if you don't have your best stuff, because I just can't be going to the bullpen for 8 innings. Now, unless like the Brewers had to do it today because Woodruff got hurt and he had to come out of the game, looked at the dugout and they came out and they pulled him out of the game. But, if you're not injured, the Diamondbacks kind of need you to go at least 4 innings here.
Before this 9-game stretch, this is from our own Alex Weiner again, Arizona starters before the last 9 games had a 3.40 ERA, 9th best in Major League Baseball. So up until these last 9 games, the starters had been airtight, really good, dependable, reliable enough to get 21 outs or even 18 outs that Torey Lovullo is seeking to allow them to set things up. It's the walks. That was a problem last night for Erod. That was definitely a problem for Merrill Kelly.
Yes.
And suddenly this becomes
Erod definitely last night. Yep.
Yeah, this becomes a big moment for Zach Gallen tomorrow against the Chicago Cubs, against a pretty hot Chicago Cubs baseball team. I think Nelson and who's the other? Kelly are the 3 pitchers slated to go.
Gallen, Nelson, Kelly.
All of the attention now is going to be on those 3 guys this weekend to see if they can give them some kind of length.
Let's hope the wind is not blowing out.
Let's hope the wind's not. Is the wind going to be blowing out, Cubs fan? Do it?
Craziest game.
Gonna look it up.
Craziest game that I ever remember in my whole life was a game at Wrigley Field between the Phillies and the Cubs.
Yeah, or the wind was like
it was
out,
like
right?
23-21 or something crazy, and everybody was hitting home runs. Dave Kingman was playing at that time. Like if you say what my memory bank, what's the craziest game? Chicago Cubs, Wrigley Field versus the Phillies. Can't even tell you what year it was. It had to be Dave Kingman was playing, so it had to be like early 80s, Cubs versus Phillies. And there were a lot of freaking home runs hitting that game.
Okay, just the look on Lauren's face tells me that the wind might be gusting out to right center field. What do we got?
Okay, tomorrow, only 12 miles per hour.
Okay.
So not too bad. Saturday, 15.
Okay.
Sunday, 24.
You ready for this? I looked it up.
All right.
One of the most famous late 70s Cubs-Phillies matchups was on May 17th, 1979 at Wrigley Field. The game, the Phillies and Cubs combined for 45 runs in a 10-inning thriller.
Wow.
With 50 hits, 11 home runs, 127 batters, and 11 pitchers. The wind was blowing at 18 to 20 miles per hour. Mike Schmidt hit 2 home runs. Dave Kingman smashed 3 home runs. But overall, 45 runs, 50 hits, 11 home runs. That is the game that is logged in my memory bank that I will never forget. I will never forget that game.
When we come back on the Burns and Gambo show, Matt Ishbia made things very clear today, especially when it came to the status of Devin Booker. Who? He ain't going anywhere. That's next on Burns and Gambo.
Bickley and Morana mornings.
Warner, our guest this morning.
What do you think of the Cardinals' plan, and what do you think of Carson Beck as a prospect?
I really liked Carson's tape. He played in a lot of big games. He understands how to play the position. He actually was working out with my son, EJ, during this process, and EJ was telling me how smart he was, how good he was in the room and a student of the game, which to me is, just as important as anything else. So there's a lot to like about Carson Beck. To me, the question just becomes, does he have that something extra?
Bickley and Morana, mornings on Arizona Sports, the local sports leader.
Love telling you about asset preservation, wealth, and tax, and putting that retirement plan together and that tax plan. And, there's a lot of tax consequences, which is why your financial advisor needs to be talking to you about taxes. If he's not, let's boot him and hire Stuart Willis, who's going to make sure that you have a tax plan. A lot of people, the investors, don't really talk about taxes with them, even though you're putting most of your money away tax deferred. And all of a sudden you get to retirement, you're like, I got all this money. And not so fast, my friend. You've got to pay taxes on a lot of that, a lot of it. We're putting a lot of money away tax deferred. And all of a sudden you look at your financial advisor like, Am I going to have to work another couple of years? I didn't know I was going to have to pay all this money in taxes, and you might have to. That's why Stuart Willis is going to put together a tax plan for you when he puts together your portfolio, when he puts together your retirement plan and your financial plan. You got to have a tax plan. And he always told me when I started working with him, it's not about how much money you've been able to save. It's about how much of that money are you going to be able to keep. Give him a call at 602-877-PLAN so you can get your free portfolio review. That's 602-877-PLAN.
Investment advisory services offered through Foundations Investment Advisors, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
If you want unlimited talk, text, and data on a super fast network, Big Wireless will sell it to you right now for as little as $70 a month. Or you can buy it from Pure Talk for half of that. I'm talking about unlimited talk, text, and data for just $34.99 a month. But wait, there's more. When you switch to Pure Talk, you'll be switching to an American wireless company that's committed to keeping 100% of its customer service in this country. I appreciate that. In fact, that's why I switched. I also appreciate the way they support our vets and our skilled workforce. Dial pound 250, say micro, and get unlimited talk, text, and unlimited data for just $34.99 a month. That's pound 250 micro. Stop paying twice what you need to pay for the service you want and switch to an American wireless company that actually stands for something. Pure Talk.
Mother's Day is almost here. What do you get for the one packing lunches, washing uniforms, and trying to make space for everyone and everything? Give her some room. Space Solutions designs, builds, and installs custom mudrooms, closets, and pantries she'll actually love. And with a Space Solutions gift card, she gets to pick exactly what she wants. Give Mom the space she deserves. Text SPACE to 620-620 or visit spacesolutionsaz.com. Message and data rates may apply.
If the world were like a Sleep Number mattress, everything would adapt for your comfort. Because as your life changes and your body changes, Sleep Number mattresses adapt and shift to give you personalized comfort night after night. And now everything's on sale during our Memorial Day event. Save up to $1,200 on mattresses for a limited time. To experience a whole new world of comfort, visit a Sleep Number store or go to sleepnumber.com. Sleep Number, to a good life sleep.
This is the story of the one. As a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hey, homeowners, if you're thinking about moving this spring, you've probably run into this problem. You can't buy your next home until you sell your current one, but you don't want to sell until you know where you're going. So you wait and miss out, or you rush and lose money. Carol Royce with Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty has your solution. With Carol's Buy Before You Sell program, you can buy your next home, then sell your current home the right way for top dollar without carrying two mortgages. Don't miss this opportunity. Call Carol Royce today or visit carolhasthebuyers.com.
I'm Mitch Vareldis with Trending Now. It's presented by Parker & Sons Heating, Cooling, Plumbing, and Electrical.
I'm proud of what we did this year. I feel great about what we did this year. But at the same time, I want more, and we want more, and we're going to have more.
Phoenix Suns and Mercury owner Matt Ishbia earlier today in his end-of-season press conference. Ishbia and general manager Brian Gregory stressed an offseason centered around continuity and development, highlighting this being the first season under their stewardship with the same front office and coaching staff going into next year. For everything else Ishbia and Gregory had to say today, you can read more on ArizonaSports.com and the Arizona Sports app. Plus, be sure to stick around because at around 4:45 today, Ishbia will join Burns and Gambo to discuss the upcoming Suns off-season. Positive from today's Diamondbacks finale. Ildemaro Vargas extended his career-long hitting streak to 26 games, 23 straight to begin the 2026 season. Negative, the Diamondbacks were blown out a second time in 3 games, 13-1 at the hands of the Brewers. Arizona will start a new series Friday afternoon in Chicago against the Cubs. And in NFL news, defensive tackle Calais Campbell is not done playing and has reportedly signed a 1-year deal with the Baltimore Ravens. Campbell returns to Baltimore after a 3-year stint at the beginning of this decade. This report is brought to you by Twin Peaks. UFC Fight Night is coming in hot, and the best place to catch the action is Twin Peaks. Ice-cold 29-degree beer, Scotch-made favorites, and wall-to-wall TVs. Twin Peaks, eats, drinks, scenic views.
Hey, this is Jared, and Derek Hall will join us tomorrow at 7:45 a.m. to talk about Drip Mania. Drip, drip, hooray! Tune in at 6 a.m. on Bickley and Murata Mornings.
I would tip jar this, but I think Lauren's too busy rolling her eyes about something going on behind the scenes. Matt Ishbia, yes, is going to be joining us sometime in the 4 o'clock hour today. We've got a lot to cover here on the Burns and Gambo
Once
show.
he lands.
Once he lands.
Once he lands.
Okay. Well, he doesn't have one of those fancy phones that work from the plane.
He probably does, but it probably doesn't work very well.
I'm just teasing. Look at me complaining about
when
and how the owner is going to be joining us on this show. Come on, Matt. Be better. Let's go. Be better. But he did, along with Brian Gregory, hold a press conference today, kind of a season in review press conference. There's a lot to get into it there, and we will throughout the course of the day. Probably starting with the biggest topic of them all, at least the one that's gotten the most attention. And that is, and I'm just going to start it with this 56-second soundbite here from Matt Ishbia. All caps, not trading Devin Booker.
Devin Booker's our franchise player. I love Devin Booker. Devin Booker loves being here. Our coach loves Devin Booker. Our GM loves Devin Booker. Devin Booker is going to be here. Devin Booker is going to lead us to a championship here in Phoenix. That's what he's going to do. And we're going to build the right team around him. He's going to get better, just like I'm going to get better, just like everyone is going to get better at our organization. And at the same time, Devin Booker is who we want here. And he's great for the city, great for the community. I'll ride into a fire with Devin Booker, and I'll do it proudly. And we'll go anytime, and he's going to have my back, and I'm going to have his back, and Devin Booker's our guy. So the national media, I've learned you guys actually are in the weeds a little bit more with what we do. The national media just says stuff to say stuff sometimes, and people say stuff, and sometimes I like to respond, and sometimes I don't because it's just ridiculous. But Devin Booker's not getting traded. Devin Booker's our franchise player, and like I said, we're going to win a championship here with Devin Booker, and I'm excited to do it, and I'm excited to be next to him when we do that.
Yeah, one of the first things I'll ask Matt Ishbia when he comes on is, do you need more out of Devin Booker? Like, what can he? You've got to get more. They love Devin Booker. They're not going to trade him. Okay, that's great. He's a top 30 player in the league now. He's not a top 15 player anymore. Mm-hmm. How do you get more? Devin Booker's 29. He should not be on the decline. He should not be on the decline. Three-point shooting has abandoned him. The days of him being able to take over basketball games and go 20 to 25 from the field like he did in a playoff game once, go for 47 points, we haven't seen that. What do they need to do to unleash him? What does he need to do?
Yeah.
What kind of how important is this offseason for Devin Booker? I think Book needs to get a little bit stronger, against these physical defenses. He's got to hit the weights a little bit more. He's got to reinvent himself right now. Because if Devin Booker looks himself in the mirror, he cannot be satisfied with his season. Maybe the team's success, but he cannot be satisfied with his season. The turnovers, the low shooting percentage, the low three-point percentage. He needs to reinvent himself a little bit. I think this is a big offseason for him.
In particular, how he finishes these seasons. I echo to the point where not only do I echo what you're saying, to the point where, I said this a couple of days ago, and I really do believe this. This is the first offseason where the concept of trading Devin Booker to me is not folly. The idea of, man, should you explore it? What if somebody called? Every other offseason I would have said no. This is the first offseason where I said, well, depends on what you're asking for and depends on what we're talking about. Just because the way he's finished these seasons, the last 5 years, he's either been hurt or wildly ineffective at the end when it matters the most. And you can go back and look at dating back to the 21 NBA Finals, the way he's finished. He's either been injured or he's been terribly ineffective. And so along those lines, Matt was, and I have not heard this. I want to hear what he says about this and more in particular why he explains himself. Did he want Devin Booker to be more aggressive against Oklahoma City? Because that's been the number one complaint about Devin Booker in the last 2 weeks.
Too passive.
Here's what Matt said.
So Devin Booker's our franchise player. Devin Booker is everything that we want here in Phoenix as a leader, as the star player, in the community, on the court, off the court. I think people don't realize the gravity he brings to a basketball game. Of course, would I like Devin Booker to make a higher percentage of this shot or this shot? You can go through all those details, but the truth is Devin Booker's a winner, and he cares and does all the little things that maybe the normal eyes don't see and catch. He's a leader on and off the court, but he does all the little things from rebounding to defense to understanding the other team's plays, and he's also the main focal point of every team we play, which makes it so it's easier for Jalen or Dylan or Colin or Mark or whoever else is on the court, right? And so I think that, when you're the main focal point and people are attacking you all the time, it's not as easy as it seems.
Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is the main focal point when you play him. Luka Doncic is the main focal point. Jalen Brunson is the main focal point. I mean, everybody's best player is the focal point. So this is not something that's, oh my goodness, wow, he's the main focal point. All of the top players, Cade Cunningham's the focal point. And what did he do last night? Cade Cunningham's Orlando wants to shut down Cade Cunningham. What did he do? He went for 45.
Yeah.
Detroit wants to shut down Banchero. What did Banchero do last night? He went for 45. That's like that. Their defenses are designed to stop you, and they can't. And Devin Booker used to be like that. They've got to figure out how to get him back to that.
And that's why I am looking forward to having him on, Matt. And I am looking forward to your question of Matt Ishbia, because I think it's wise organizationally, publicly, for them to support Devin Booker. He is your icon. He is the way your fans identify with your organization is through Devin Booker. Behind the scenes, I wonder what those conversations are like. Not that they're looking to trade him. I believe Matt when he says they're not. But behind the scenes, I do wonder to what extent they're not going to say, hey, you're great, Devin. Everything's awesome. You're perfect. Don't change a thing. You're fantastic. I understand publicly, forward-facing, that's going to be the message. I do wonder behind the scenes what the message is going to be to Devin Booker, because I don't think it can be, hey, you're great, everything's awesome, you're fine, don't change a thing, bud. You're awesome, great.
No, I don't think it will be. No.
It can't be.
I think this will be a big summer for Devin Booker. I think that, I don't know what they're going to say. He's got to look himself in the mirror and figure out, okay, I'm on the decline right now, and I shouldn't be. I'm only 29 years old. How do I get back to being that player? And I do think the Suns need better players. But for him personally, like this season should be somewhat unacceptable for him, individually, not as a team, but individually.
And that's the other thing, too, that Matt said that's interesting and maybe deserves a follow-up call, too. Devin Booker is going to lead this organization to a championship. I kind of want to know how, how within the context of you're competing with Oklahoma City in the West, you're competing with San Antonio in the West.
Yeah.
You really don't have a roster that's built for a championship contender now, and it seems like you're still a ways away from that. Mm-hmm. Will the Devin Booker window close before you're able to win a championship during the Devin Booker window? I don't know if the two things are possible at the same time.
I would think that the goal next year is to improve by 3, 4, 5 games, get out of the play-in. And then the goal the next year would to be, again, now, so say you could go to 48 to 50 wins next year.
Oof.
Instead of 45.
Okay.
I'm just
I know.
48 to 50.
I know. It just seems like a big number, but
it's
okay.
only if you 3,
I'm not
4,
going to
5.
bet you on it if you're trying to bait me.
No.
If you're trying to bait me into a bet, I'm not doing it. All right? No more bets. We're done with that. No more.
Yeah, no, there won't be any bets. You'll have to send me a gift card for Lake Como somewhere. I think the next year would be let's go realistic. A goal to set for next year would be try to get somewhere between 48 and 50 wins, get out of the play-in. The next year, take another step, somewhere between 50 and 54 wins, and try to get home court advantage. The goal isn't to win it all next year. They know they weren't going to win it this year, and they know they're not going to win it next year. But they've got to take steps. It's got to be a progression to get to that point and wear some of these other teams out.
Mike LaFleur has a rookie quarterback on his team. He has a rookie quarterback in his division. What are his thoughts on both? That's coming up on the Burns and Gambo Show.
D-backs decision makers from the team's front office join Wolf and Luke Wednesday mornings at 11:45 for D-backs Front Office Focus. Brought to you by Canvas Annuity. The home of Arizona Diamondbacks baseball is Arizona Sports 98.7 and the Arizona Sports app.
Patrick was way behind on his IRS taxes.
I was in way over my head. The total amount ended up being somewhere just over $30,000. $30,000.
Then the IRS came to collect.
Started getting letter after letter. A lien had been filed against me. They were going to basically hang me completely out to dry.
He had to do something.
That's when I reached out to Optima Tax Relief.
Patrick's life quickly got a lot easier.
It was very easy, pretty much hands off. They picked up the ball and ran with it.
And how'd it go?
I couldn't believe it. I had to ask 2 or 3 times. I saved an incredible amount of money.
How does Patrick feel about Optima?
Couldn't be happier. They definitely helped me. Optima Tax Relief, the best place to call. They're the best in the business.
Do what Patrick did and call Optima Tax Relief for a free consultation. Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Exciting news from the Window Depot. Their brand new location is now open in Surprise. Discover the largest selection of vinyl windows, doors, cabinets, countertops, flooring, and more. Their experts are here to make your vision a reality with exclusive special order options and a wide selection of in-stock inventory available to go home today. For the best price and the biggest inventory, visit one of their 5 Valley locations or shop online at thewindowdepot.com. The Window Depot, more than a window store.
Hey, Ron Wolfley here, and I'm sitting next to my great friend, Dr. Joe from Aria Dental Implant Center. Hey, Dr. Joe, it's great to see you.
Thanks for having me.
Talk to me about the All-On-4 dental implant.
It's a process where we can remove patients' remaining dentition, where we can place 4 dental implants, take our digital impressions, so we can get this population back in function.
You know I've had the All-On-4. It is a life changer. It truly is. Not only to be able to smile, right, but also to bite into a steak. What is the best thing about getting the All-On-4 dental treatment?
Self-confidence. The only reason people don't get All-On-4s is because they can't afford it. It's expensive.
Yes.
My goal is to make it economical. So if I can reduce that cost, I will.
If you have broken or missing teeth, he's going to help you. AriaDentalImplantCenter.com. It's spelled A-R-I-A. AriaDentalImplantCenter.com.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-292-4541 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-292-4541. That's 800-292-4541. What do you have to lose? Call 800-292-4541. Again, 800-292-4541.
Hey, it's Paul Calvisi, and I'm here with Matt Dagus, president of Bright Wealth Management. And Matt, most people enter retirement without a real roadmap.
They do, and it's really risky. You need to know how your income works, how taxes affect it, and how long your savings will last.
And you help people understand the whole picture.
Yes, we build complete retirement plans that are simple to follow and designed to protect your future.
And listeners can get a complimentary consultation?
They can. Call 844-726-9116.
Investment advisory services offered through Foundations Investment Advisors, LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor. The content provided is for educational purposes only.
The Burns and Gambo Need to Know Social Poll. Presented by Sanderson Ford.
Here is Lauren to roll out our Twitter poll question of the day today. No idea what it is. It's been a busy day around here.
Just had some guy on Twitter say, something you'll appreciate. The CVS pharmacy on First and Jefferson has the 20-ounce bottles of RC Cola. I bought some this morning. I'm like, you didn't bring me one? Every time I go to a store, I look for RC Cola in the bottle, not the can. I don't like the cans. I can never find them. And this guy found a spot where they are.
Well, isn't it enough that he told you where they are so you can go get them yourself?
I don't know if I'm not down at First Avenue in Jefferson, but I love RC. I do, I don't drink a lot of soda, but I do love RC Cola.
Well, how much do you like it to
I
drive to this location?
I don't drink a lot of soda, but I do like RC Cola.
Tomorrow, on your way into the station, swing by First Avenue in Jefferson, right there in downtown Phoenix.
I probably picked some up.
Yourself a bottle of RC Cola.
When are you going to a D-backs game?
You couldn't bring me one?
Next time you're going to a D-backs game.
Is it?
It's
It's
right
that
there
close,
by the ball.
right?
Yeah, it's right there.
Yeah.
I'm so in.
Oh, wow.
I'm so in.
Gambo
Just like that.
Look at that. Just how easily
I can never find
it swings.
Oh, it's hard. Ray's Pizza has it. You know, you could get it at Ray's Pizza, but it's hard to. I can't find it anymore. Target used to have them, and then they stopped carrying them.
These are some real champagne problems.
It's real
Gambo's
problems.
dealing
It's
with.
real.
This is what's really facing America
RC
right
Cola
now.
was big in New York.
How is
It's hard
Gambo
to
going
get
to
it.
get his RC Cola? Now that we've solved that, let's move on to the next problem, which
Okay,
is.
let's see if you can solve the Phoenix Suns.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Yeah, good. All right.
We're asking, who do you most want the Suns to bring back in free agency if they can only bring back one of the following? Jordan Goodwin,
Oh, that's a really fair question.
Colin Gillespie, or Mark Williams?
It's either Goodwin or Gillespie, and it's so close.
It's really close.
It's like 51-49 close.
I'm going to go with Gillespie by a nose. Initially, I was going to say Goodwin, but I still think his three-point shooting potentially is a little suspect, so give me Gillespie instead.
I'll go Colin, too, but like I said, it's very, very close.
Not that close in the poll question. 61% of our audience going with Colin Gillespie, 37% going with Jordan Goodwin, and 3% going with Mark Williams.
Mark Williams getting no love. Absolutely no love. That's the poll
What's love
question.
got to do with it?
Hey, really, I don't know. Let's head on down to the Love Shack and find out. You know what? We're going to hear what Mike LaFleur has to say about Jeremiah Love a little later on in the show. In the meantime, right now, this is from Rich Eisen's show a couple days ago. Mike LaFleur on what he likes about Carson Beck.
I could get into the physical traits, and I think we all kind of see that, just the size and the natural throwing ability. I think he's tough in the pocket, but there's two things that really stuck out to all of us in this building. It's the experience that he's played, and not just the amount of games of 43s, 37-6 as a starter. But he did it in the SEC, and then he did it down at Miami. And, you think about the run that they made at Miami. I mean, it was, are they going to get in or are they not? And they have to go on the road to Texas A&M and then win a few more games to have the opportunity to play Indiana in the national championship. And he helped lead that team get there. So, he's won a lot of games at a high level. And like I said, kind of Thursday night, it hasn't been smooth sailing for him. There's some armor, throughout his career. And I love that, because it's not like it was all easy and the number one pick and, or whatever it is. He's already been through some stuff. And so when he gets to the league, it's only going to get harder, no doubt. And the storms are only going to get more, but he's been through some.
I got to admit, I kind of like that last part.
Yeah.
I kind of like that last part, especially.
Tell me why.
Just because I understand the size that's easy to like. I understand his experience that's easy to like. But Carson Beck hasn't had the easiest road. He's been in college for 6 years.
Yep, had to transfer.
He was in the same recruiting class as C.J. Spiller and Bryce Young. You know what I mean? It's not C.J. Stroud, pardon me, and Bryce Young.
I think it's C.J. Spiller.
C.J. Stroud and Bryce Young, pardon me. I got my names mixed up. He's had to weather the elbow injury. I'm going to say the transfer, he got paid for the transfer, but it hasn't always come easy for Carson Beck. He wasn't the quarterback of those championship teams in Georgia, right? Like, he had to kind of fight for his a little bit and fight for his respect and fight for his place in college football. And I like that, suggesting that maybe it leaves him a little more battle-tested than some other quarterbacks who come into the situation. That's what I like about it.
They had the run when they got in, because a lot of people did not think they were going to get in. They had lost to Louisville and SMU, and they didn't think Miami would get in. But they got in, and they beat A&M, and then they beat Ohio State, and then they beat Ole Miss. Best game was probably the Ole Miss game. The other games were not so good. He was through for 103 yards versus A&M and 138 versus Ohio State. He did light up Ole Miss for 268 yards. They scored 31 points, and obviously they lost the championship game to Indiana. He threw a touchdown pass, got him, but then he threw the interception at the end of the game that cost them the game when they were trying to come back and win it. But he was good. I thought the experience thing really stood out because of how much we knocked the Ty Simpson lack of experience. And not only Ty Simpson, but the history of quarterbacks, 15 games or less experience going to the pros is not good. Their success rate is not good. I wonder what it's like for a guy that's a top 3-round pick with 45 games of experience, 46 games of experience. He's been with different coaching staffs. He's played in playoff games. He's played in the biggest stadiums. He's played for great football teams. He's played against great defenses, and he has a lot of experience.
Yeah.
So I think that, to me, because that's the first thing that LaFleur said was the experience. So that stood out to me a little bit more than the adversity stuff.
The expectations for Carson Beck?
Honestly, and I truly mean this, it's the same thing in terms of what I was just saying with our entire offense and really our team in general. Of, just given the foundational aspects, like we just want to teach him the playbook. Yesterday we started with the cadence and formations with him. So before there's even a rep to be had out on the field, we got to teach these guys, not just him, but Gardner and Jacoby as well. And, there'll be plenty of reps to be had throughout.
I do wonder if this is, and I know this is kind of a shot in the dark here, but once upon a time, Russell Wilson, as a third-round pick with the Seattle Seahawks, was just so damn impressive that for them, they're like, he's the guy.
Yeah.
And I wonder if Carson Beck can have that moment in OTAs, if he can have that moment in preseason.
All eyes will be on him.
Training camp, right? Because if he does, it makes it a really interesting story if he comes out and wins it right away.
We should want him to.
I do. I would.
Can you imagine like a scenario in which Carson Beck pops, he ends up playing in 12, 13, 14 games, looks fantastic. You're like, this is our guy, the way Russell Wilson went. And now you go into next year and you still have a high pick and you get to use it on the best edge rusher in the draft.
Yeah. Yeah. Ty Simpson, you mentioned him. Mike LaFleur, when he was on Rich Eisen's show, was also asked about the Rams and his old employer taking Ty Simpson.
I was surprised at Mr. Grumpy that night because I know how excited he is about that quarterback. He always really liked that quarterback. And, the one thing that we can say as coaches is, you don't really get the evaluation process until you're done with the season. And obviously in L.A. we went to the NFC Championship, so you kind of were a week or two behind or whatnot. But there was a lot of love for Ty Simpson in that building. So obviously I was in that building. So that wasn't shocking to me at all. How it got to that point where they were all in lockstep to, for the 13th pick. Obviously I wasn't there for those conversations, but the beginning of it, I know, Les, Sean, and the rest of them all were really excited about him.
Sean McVay is Mr. Grumpy.
Did he call him Mick Grumpy?
I think he called him Mr. Grumpy.
Mr. Grumpy.
Mr. Grumpy, not
Mr. Grumpy.
He just could have
I thought he called him Mick Grumpy.
Easily
Mr.
called him
Grumpy.
Mick Grumpy, but Mr. Grumpy, Sean McVay.
Because after the press conference was over, it looks like I mean, if the portrayal was like he hated the pick, he didn't even want to talk about the kid.
Yeah. And he just was trying to protect Matthew Stafford's ego, apparently. Yeah, this is fine, whatever. But that's funny. And he would know. Mike LaFleur would know. He was in the building. He's almost like he knew. Yeah, I wasn't surprised at all. I
still don't get why you want to keep that from Stafford so much if you really love the quarterback.
Yeah,
is it really going to bother Stafford?
Yeah, egos in the professional athlete, man. That's a real thing. When we come back on the Burns and Gambo show, as we mentioned, Matt Ishbia spoke to the media today. He's going to speak to us personally coming up in the 4 o'clock hour. He gave us a little teaser, a little preview. What can we expect from the Phoenix Suns during this offseason? You'll hear from the owner of the Suns on that topic next on Burns and Gambo.
The Arizona Sports YouTube channel for live shows, podcasts, viral clips, shorts, and more. Just the local sports leader doing what we do on YouTube. Serve yourself some Arizona sports. Subscribe to the Arizona Sports YouTube channel.
Love telling you about Christian Brothers, AC, plumbing, and electric. For all of your electric needs, Christian Brothers is absolutely fantastic at what they do. Plumbing as well. So if you are struggling with a plumbing issue, you've got a toilet bowl that's not flushing properly. You've got water, not getting hot water as fast as you need it. You got some slow-moving drains. Christian Brothers, they came out recently, fixed my toilet bowl. They've helped me with the plumbing. I even had their electric company come out and install my backyard lights. I didn't want to go with my landscaper. He's not an electrician. He's a landscaper. Christian Brothers, they're electricians. So they installed them properly, everything, so the electric is right. And plus you get the guarantee with them that you really don't get with your landscapers. So when it comes to electrical needs, plumbing needs, AC needs, no company better than Christian Brothers. They'll do a phenomenal job for you when you call them. That's why I've been using Christian Brothers for a long time to take care of all of my needs when it comes to AC, when it comes to my plumbing, and when it comes to electric. I even had them do a tune-up for me not too long ago, and they did a great job. All you have to do is call Christian Brothers at 602-222-3535. That's 602-222-3535.
Hey everybody, Dan Bickley here with my great friend Shane O'Hanrahan, GM of Chapman BMW, the guy that can make your car buying dreams come true.
It's true, Dan. I can't tell you how many times somebody has called or emailed me and asked for me by name and said, hey, Dan Bickley sent me to get the hookup. And you know what? We make it happen. So put me to the test. I will make your dreams come true.
That's Chapman BMW, 2 great locations.
One great experience.
A family office is a team built to handle the 3 biggest financial responsibilities a family faces: wealth management, tax strategy, and estate planning. Most firms only manage your investments and refer the rest out, hoping everyone stays aligned. At Trajan, we built something different. Your wealth, tax planning, and estate planning are handled together inside one firm under one roof. There's no guessing whether your CPA, advisor, and estate attorney are truly in sync, because our team works together every day on your behalf. When your financial life becomes more complex, your advice should become more coordinated, not more fragmented. One plan, one trusted team. Call Trajan today, 855-TRAJAN-1. That's 855-TRAJAN-1.
Trajan Wealth, an SEC-registered investment advisor. Additional services through Trajan Estate and Trajan Tax. Additional disclosures and accreditation at TrajanWealth.com.
As the old saying goes, size matters.
At Morgan & Morgan, we have over 1,000 lawyers and nearly 6,000 people on staff.
But at the core, this is and always has been a family business.
Our family watching out for your family.
Call us or email us 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, even on a Saturday or a Sunday.
And if you ever have a problem, call our mom.
Morgan & Morgan.
For the people and your family.
Injured? Dial Pound Law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
That sound? Yeah, that's not a good sign. Hey, it's Drew Brees. And when your car starts making noises like that, a big repair bill might be coming right at you. But with CarShield, you don't have to fear unexpected breakdowns. CarShield helps protect you from expensive auto repairs. I spent my career making tough calls, but this one is simple.
Visit carshield.com now and join the team that's helped millions of drivers save. Coverage varies by plan. View contracts and exclusions at carshield.com.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, this is Dave Burns.
And John Gambadoro.
And every year we hear far too many heartbreaking stories involving children and water.
Please take 2 seconds out of your day to help prevent these tragedies.
Learn life-saving water safety tips and get free swim lessons from the YMCA while supplies last.
Go to Fulton2seconds.com or text SWIM to 620-620.
And never forget that 2 seconds is too long to take your eyes off kids near water.
This is Doug Fulton of Fulton Homes, proud to partner with KTAR to keep your kids safe around water.
KMVP FM Phoenix.
Live from the Casino Arizona and Talking Stick Resort Studio.
Arizona Sports, the local sports leader.
I'm Mitch Vareldes with Trending Now. It's presented by Parker & Sons Heating, Cooling, Plumbing, and Electrical.
I'm proud of what we did this year. I feel great about what we did this year. But at the same time, I want more, and we want more, and we're going to have more.
Phoenix Suns and Mercury owner Matt Ishbia earlier today in his end-of-season press conference. Ishbia and general manager Brian Gregory stressed an offseason centered around continuity and development, highlighting this being the first season under their stewardship with the same front office and coaching staff. For everything else Ishbia and Gregory had to say today, you can read more on ArizonaSports.com and on the Arizona Sports app. Plus, be sure to stick around today because sometime in the 4 o'clock hour, probably around 4:45-ish, Ishbia will join Burns and Gambo to discuss the upcoming Suns offseason. Positive from today's D-backs finale, Ildemaro Vargas extended his career-long hitting streak to 26 games, 23 straight to begin the 2026 season. Negative, The Diamondbacks were blown out a second time in 3 games. 13-1 the final against the Brewers. Arizona will start a new series on Friday afternoon in Chicago against the Cubs. And in NFL news, defensive tackle Calais Campbell is not done playing and has reportedly signed a 1-year deal with the Baltimore Ravens. Campbell returns to Baltimore after a 3-year stint at the beginning of this decade. This report is brought to you by Asset Preservation, Wealth, and Tax. Retirement comes with stealth taxes, Medicare surcharges, Social Security taxation, and forced distributions. Schedule your retirement tax and income stress test today at AssetPreservationWealth.com.
Hey, it's Jesse. Matt Ishbia says Devin Booker will be back next season, so how do the Suns maximize him? We'll discuss tomorrow at 10 a.m. It's Wolf and Luke on Arizona Sports 98.7, the Arizona Sports app, and the Arizona Sports YouTube channel.
3 o'clock hour, the Burns and Gambo show here on Arizona Sports. We got on a little late because of the D-backs game. They lost the series to the Milwaukee Brewers. They got trampled today, 13-1.
Oh, we had to watch McCann pitch.
Second time this series, fourth time this season. Fourth time.
We're lucky we're on now. I mean, that thing could still be going on.
Fourth. He's actually kind of been effective. It's remarkable. He's not. The first time it wasn't very good, but the last 3, it's
look. Nothing's more
kind of worked.
Nothing's more effective than throwing a pitch like this.
Yeah. The camera in center field has to pan up to track the flight of the ball and pan back down.
Anybody who's ever played softball, it's that trajectory. The ball's coming down, and you got to hit the ball as it's coming down. That's what he's throwing an ephus pitch.
The 2 words that Matt Ishbia used to describe the Suns' offseason.
Yes.
Continuity and player development.
Of course.
I guess technically they were 3 words. Continuity and player development. Mm-hmm. This was his answer, long answer, but I'm going to play the whole thing so we get the proper context on how aggressive they will be this offseason with the Phoenix Suns in trying to reshape the roster.
The big focus is continuity. You know, having a year where we have the same coaching staff, most of the same players, and also a team where I think the players are going to get better. I think J.O. wasn't hired till early June last year, and then we didn't make a lot of trades and drafts, and we didn't have our team together till July. And then really people were summer, and by August, September, we started getting together. We have 5 full months right now. And so I think what you're asking, though, is I believe this team is good enough to compete as long as we have continuity, player development. Of course, let's have health go a little bit more our favor. Can we win more games? Can we win a playoff series? Can we continue to build in the direction of a championship program? That's what we're going to focus on. And so do we take calls about opportunistic trades and ideas? Of course we do. However, our massive lean is I like this team. I like where we're going. I like the direction of the organization. I like the culture that we've built. I like the identity that we have. And we're not going to do anything silly to mess that up. We're going to continue to lean in on that. And I think the fans will be proud of that. And we're going to continue to get better. We're going to build something special for years to come here in Phoenix. And I think this was the foundational first year.
I don't think he could have said it any better. I think it's the right way to approach it. I'm glad they're not looking to tear down what they've got, and I'm happy that they're not looking to let's go all in on Giannis and Ja Morant. They're not going after these guys. Okay, it's ridiculous when you hear this. They're not going to do a continuity development. What does development mean? That means you could probably see Rasheer Fleming maybe even start at power forward next year. That it's time for Rasheer Fleming he's got size, he's got length, he's got athleticism. Who doesn't like Rasheer Fleming? Anybody like, that kid can't play?
Jordan
No, we all look at him like, he could play. Like, he should be able to. Now,
Jordan Knott.
I know, because he
in a 4-game series against Oklahoma City, it didn't appear as if I'm mostly kidding, but I'm also trying to make a point.
They put him into one game 4, and the first thing he did is block the shot by Gilgeous-Alexander.
The loudest the building had been the entire game 4 was when Rasheer Fleming came into that game.
I expect that Fleming is going to either get a lot of minutes at power forward or start at power forward for them next year.
Good.
I think the development of Malawach is huge. The question that I have is Mark Williams, how much does he stunt that development? But you could see at some point next year that Malawach is going to get a lot of those minutes. He's going to get a lot of minutes at center. He's going to play a lot more. Developing those guys, developing Gillespie. They developed Oso this year. I came into this year not really high on Oso as an NBA player. And now I look at him like he could do a lot of things well. Like he really worked hard. He got stronger, greater on defensive switches. I still think he's best suited to be your backup center, your ninth guy on a team. Yeah. But you've got to develop these players and in continuity. I think that, Book's had, how many different coaches has Devin Booker had?
This is the only time in his career where he's got the same coach in back-to-back years?
Well, Monty.
I mean, other than
outside
Monty.
Monty.
I meant other than Monty. Is this the only time he's had?
It was always changing. And so, that continuity could be important, too, for these guys. So I lean into the continuity and the development more than, the armchair quarterbacks that want to trade everybody for John Morant, right? All of those guys.
Yeah, I mean,
let's just take this guy, and it works in NBA, whatever the
trade machine.
It works in the trade machine.
Yeah.
We can get John Morant.
I mean, but that was always silly talk.
It is
just because in reality, the Phoenix Suns simply do not have the assets to be able to pry those kinds of players away. They just don't. They don't have enough control over their draft picks. They don't. Their two picks that they can trade become unlocked on draft night, so they can't move any of those until draft night. Like it's like any talk about a big swing for Giannis or for Ja or for Zion. I mean, just look at the assets that they have to move the players that they don't have what it takes to get a deal. So philosophically, it's a good idea not to do it, but in reality, you didn't have the stuff under the hood to be able to pull a deal like that off anyway, even if you wanted to.
Let me ask you your opinion here. Jalen Green doesn't miss 50 games. Are they still in the play-in, or are they out of the play-in?
You know what? Can I change the question on you? Can I?
I don't get an answer to my question?
Because I think you're asking the wrong question.
Oh. Okay, by all means, go ahead.
If Dillon Brooks doesn't break his hand, do I think they win 50 basketball games? Absolutely.
I think. How many weeks did he miss?
I think that's the right question.
You think it's Dillon?
I think it's Dillon.
I think it's Jalen.
I think it's way Dillon, because I'm basing that off of how they played when it was the Devin Booker, Dillon Brooks show. That was when they won 30 out of their 49 games that they played. They were a way better team without Jalen than they were with.
And it takes time to incorporate a guy like Jalen.
That's not me trying to blame it all on Jalen. It kind of sounds like it. Maybe a little bit I do. But I think the Dillon Brooks injury was by far the more debilitating injury to their team than the Jalen Green was, because of how they played. How many games did he miss?
Like 15 or something?
Dillon Brooks?
Yeah.
It was like 15 and that's when things...
And Jalen was 50. Yeah,
things went south.
Yeah.
The minute Dillon Brooks was gone, they went south. So I say that as all due respect to your question. I'm not trying to demean you. I think that the Dillon Brooks absence was way more impactful than the Jalen Green one. I think.
So I could probably make an argument that if either one of those things happen, they're not even in the freaking play-in. If Jalen plays the 50 games, or if Dillon doesn't miss, 3 to 4 weeks, then they're out of the play-in. So, like, health matters. If they could, now you're not going to be healthy all year long, but if they had better health this year, they're probably not in the play-in.
So I just looked it up just to be sure. Other than the first 3 games that Earl Watson was the coach of in 2017, Devin Booker, outside of Monty Williams, has never had the same coach from one season to the next. Other than Monty Williams and now Jordan Ott. It was 1 year of Hornacek, basically 1 year of Watson, 1 year of Triano,
Koshkov,
1 year of Igor, 4 years of Monty, 1 year of Frank, 1 year of Mike, and now 2 years of Jordan Ott.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Continuity.
Yeah.
Development.
And we'll talk
Fleming,
more.
start him at the 4. Start him at the 4.
Yeah. 100%.
Seriously, play him at the 4.
When we come back on the Burns and Gambo show here on Arizona Sports, what does Mike LaFleur think of his new running back? How's he going to use this new weapon they got at number 3 overall? You hear what the head coach of the Cardinals had to say about it next on the Burns and Gambo show.
Wolf and Luke, middays 10 to 2.
I'm not going to sit here and pretend that was vintage Devin Booker against Oklahoma City. In this series against Oklahoma City, and I think to be fair, we got to count the play-in too, he didn't look like an elite scorer by any means.
He looked like he was thinking about playing the game as opposed to just playing the game. I think the responsibility that he feels for not just being the player he is, but to involve others is detrimental to his aggressiveness. I think he's trying to be something basically based on means that he really isn't. They need a point guard.
Wolf and Luke, middays 10 to 2 on Arizona Sports, the local sports leader.
Support comes from Amazon Business. You can't rely on guesswork to run your business. With smart business buying, innovative AI tools optimize your purchasing experience, paired with delivery options built for business. Empower your team today. Learn more at amazonbusiness.com.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter. Check engine or ABS light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan.
O'Reilly Auto Parts. It's Desert Wind Harley-Davidson's pre-owned red tag sale this week. Hundreds of Harleys tagged with liquidation pricing. Good credit, bad credit, no credit, 100% of applications accepted. Save thousands this week. Only at Desert Wind Harley's pre-owned red tag sale. It ends this Sunday.
No payments for 7 months, no interest for 90 days with approved credit.
That sound? Yeah, that's not a good sign. Hey, it's Drew Brees. And when your car starts making noises like that, a big repair bill might be coming right at you. But with CarShield, you don't have to fear unexpected breakdowns. CarShield helps protect you from expensive auto repairs. I spent my career making tough calls, but this one is simple.
Visit carshield.com now and join the team that's helped millions of drivers save. Coverage varies by plan. View contracts and exclusions at carshield.com.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Ask yourself this question. Is it really worth holding on to that timeshare that you know you need to get rid of? Here's the truth. The average maintenance fee just went up over 17%. That could have been 117%, and there's nothing you can do about it. When you buy a timeshare, you give them a blank check for annual maintenance and assessment fees. I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. For 15 years, I've helped over 50,000 families cancel their timeshare. Not sell it, not transfer it, cancel it. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment and your maintenance fees would never go up? That's a lie. Are you ready to get rid of your timeshare once and for all? Simply call us and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit that explains all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free timeshare exit kit. 800-917-5151. 800-917-5151. 800-917-5151.
1-877-CARS for kids. K-A-R-S, Cars for kids. 1-877-CARS for kids. Donate your car today.
Call 877-CARS for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now or go to carsforkids.org.
Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
Here are the top 3 headlines on ArizonaSports.com. I'm Tyler Drake. Matt Ishbia squashes any of the trade talks surrounding Sun star Devin Booker. Ildemaro Vargas ties Paul Goldschmidt for the second longest hitting streak in Diamondbacks history. And Dan Bickley writes, Matt Ishbia has earned the trust in the handling of the Suns turnaround, but now comes the hard part. Those are your top 3 headlines on ArizonaSports.com.
Yeah, we'll continue to react to the Matt Ishbia and Brian Gregory sound throughout the course of the day, and Matt Ishbia will join us sometime in the 4 o'clock hour after his plane ride home back to Michigan lands. We're going to have him on, and we'll talk with him as kind of a follow-up to some of the conversations that he had with the local media. In the meantime, still kind of sorting through the Arizona Cardinals draft. Rookie minicamp is coming up. First chance we'll get to see Jeremiah Love, Carson Beck, Chase Besantis, and others out on the field doing stuff. But that doesn't mean the reaction still isn't coming in. This is Mike LaFleur, head coach of the Cardinals, on the Rich Eisen show yesterday on adding Jeremiah Love.
I think we all see the talent. He's been very productive at Notre Dame for many years. What's unique about this guy is he is a man. He walks in the room and he has this really good mix of confidence but humility, and he is who he is. And I thought he had a great press conference on Friday, just kind of showing the Arizona Cardinal world, who he is. Obviously, he's had eyes on him for a long time, but I really appreciate the person even more than the player, and the player's pretty special.
And Gambo, the most revealing part of the conversation was probably when he was asked about, hey, did you guys get any trade calls for Jeremiah Love? And here's what Mike LaFleur said about that. It was kind of fun.
We might have all 3 on there at once. We might have 0 out there, But no, I mean, it's right now we're such in the early stages of this. We're only a few weeks in. Just started phase 2 basically this week. We had the 2 weeks of phase 1. We had the voluntary mini camp. So the guys are here in the offense for the just the 4th week right now. Obviously, with the guy that we have coming in, there might be a wrinkle or 2, but I truly think right now you just give them the foundations of what's going on. You give them the foundations through August. You try to get good at something. You try to get good at your foundational aspects of running, blocking, catching, throwing, all those kind of things. And then organically, once the season starts, the best offenses I've been a part of, we had no intention of being a 13-personnel team last year in L.A., and it just organically happened for a lot of different reasons, but we didn't force that. It just kind of went, and it was working, so we kept rolling with it. So we'll see where this Arizona Cardinals offense goes, but again, right now, just in the early stages.
In baseball, they try not to put too much player on young kids when they first come up, whether it's Fernandez, when Corbin Carroll came up, when Justin Upton came up. Listen, you quite possibly might have a Hall of Fame player here in this kid. He might be that kid. When's the last time you said that about a Cardinal draft pick? He might be, if you said to me right now, go ahead.
Marvin Harrison Jr.
Okay.
Right? Was that not the last time we said that about a Cardinal draft pick?
Question, but we thought he could be the next Fitz. Yeah, you're right.
We were so high on him.
But this kid too, then. I think there's a chance that this kid could be super special. Hall of Fame caliber running back.
And just because it didn't or hasn't yet worked with Marvin Harrison Jr. doesn't mean we should be cynical about it not working for Jeremiah Love, right? We're still waiting for that Marvin Harrison Jr. moment to come. It might never happen. But even if it doesn't, that doesn't mean we should say, well, because it didn't happen with Marvin Harrison Jr., it's clearly not going to happen with Jeremiah Love. I think that'd be wrong. I think that would
still happen with
absolutely.
But
it could still happen.
A lot of it's going to be on the new coaching staff, right? He had a defensive coordinator that was your head coach in Gannon. Here, you've got an offensive-minded guy in LaFleur, so I expect that the offense is going to be a little bit better because you've got than Drew Petzing and Jonathan Gannon.
Yeah. No, and that's why I agree that Jeremiah Love should not have to sit in the shadow of Marvin Harrison Jr. as, hey, the last time you drafted a skill player who was pretty much universally regarded as can't miss. Don't assume that he's going to miss just because maybe the last one did. I don't think it's fair to pin that on the kid. The cut that I thought I was playing was Mike LaFleur basically saying, I was hoping nobody was going to call. I was hoping nobody was going to call and make us an offer and we were going to trade out of the spot.
Right.
I was rooting against that phone call. And you had said all along you didn't think that they were moving out of the spot. Sounds like they were pretty committed to Jeremiah Love at the beginning of the week, and they really weren't going to be swayed off of that unless they got blown away.
I think I probably told you that. So the night before, when I gathered my final information on the draft, I was pretty set on their staying at 3. There had been no calls, had been no movement. Some teams had checked in, but there were no concrete offers. There was nothing close. And then the next morning when I checked in again, there was nothing close. And at that point, I was like, I expect them to keep the pick at 3. There is nobody to move up. There was nothing close. Any reports like that are just wrong. They were picking at 3. And I think I told you after my call that night, I expect they're going to stay at 3. They're going to pick at 3 based on my information. And at that point, I think there was even internally here was like, okay, Love or Bailey, Love or Bailey, Love or Bailey. I was still going Love. Now, Bailey went, so we'll never know, like for sure. Mm-hmm. But my Gambo 5 usually is pretty spot on based on their board, and I had Love going number 1 and Bailey 2 on that. I still think they would have taken Love over Bailey. I know, crazy, right?
I would have preferred Bailey at that point. I would have preferred Bailey.
I still think they were going Love.
Marcus Freeman is the head coach at Notre Dame. He was on Bickley and Murata yesterday.
Oh, good cat.
Consider that another Notre Dame running back went at the end of the first round in Jadarian Price. Marcus Freeman's like, look, if we wanted to, we could have given Jeremiah Love the ball every single play.
We could have gave him the ball every play. And seriously, and we could have threw him the ball. We could have handed the ball off to him. And what you would have saw was the stats would have been double or triple what they were. But that wasn't what was best for him or for our program. And it's a reflection of his unselfishness. He was Jadarian's biggest supporter. He wanted Jadarian to carry the ball, to score as much as he did. And that to me tells you what type of person he is. He's not a selfish person. He's a competitive person, but he is an unbelievable teammate that knows the success of the team will ultimately give him those individual accolades that he desires. And so he is an amazing human being.
So Tyler Algier is now on the phone with Jadarian Price. Okay, what did you do to have him want you to get all those carries? What do I got to do? What, a couple breakfast burritos in the morning? What I got to do to make sure that I want him to make sure I get some carries.
I mean, look, here's part of the exciting thing about this, and I understand our expectations are, as they should be, pretty low for the Cardinals this upcoming season. I think what is a potential game changer here is that because Mike LaFleur is an offensive mind, unlocking the very best of Jeremiah Love, because he's not just a running back. He could be a wide receiver. So many people have said that you could very easily see Jeremiah Love lined up in the slot as a wide receiver making plays there. And I think, not that it's a guarantee that having an offensive-minded head coach can unlock the best offense. It's failed time and time again. But I think you're giving yourself a better chance of unlocking a great offense by having an offensive mind as your head coach, because he will just be dedicated. It's different when you've got a defensive-minded head coach. No matter how good the offensive coordinator is, Mike LaFleur, this has been his life in the NFL, is designing offenses that maximize the roster and what they've got. It's what he was talking about with the 13 personnel with the Rams. He's like, we didn't want 13 personnel with the Rams. That's what we had.
Yeah.
We made it work, okay? What do you have now with the Cardinals, and how do you make it work?
How many times did we question Jonathan Gannon about something that happened with the offense instead of the defense last year?
Yeah.
It was always the offense.
And his answer was always the same. That's Drew's department.
I love to play. I love to play. I would do it all over. Really? You like that play? That's the stupidest play that any team's run in the NFL. There were like 4 occasions last year where he backed a play called by Petzing that we all looked at it. You know, hey, it's 3rd and 11 and we're going to run a draw. You're going to do what? Like, why? And we sit there and I liked it. I like that. You know, you say, can you overrule this Petzing guy a couple of times? And he just never did. But there was at least 4 times last year, separate occasions, where he would come in and like, I loved the play. Why didn't you change what Drew called?
Yeah.
That was so dumb. Why would you do that?
When we come back here on Burns and Gambo, a trio of Devin Booker, Dylan Brooks, and Jalen Green. Is that going to work next year? We'll talk about that coming up. Stay with us here on Arizona Sports and our Arizona Sports YouTube channel.
He's the president of the Arizona Diamondbacks. Derek Hall talks D-backs baseball with Bickley and Murata. Thursday mornings at 7:45. Brought to you by Freeway Chevrolet. Watch it on YouTube. Listen on the Arizona Sports app and 98.7.
Hey, I'm Ron Wolfley, and I'm sitting here with Garrett Lee, co-owner of Moving Team 6. Moving season is quickly approaching, and I didn't even know there was a moving season. How would you advise people?
Actually, the month of May is National Moving Month. That's right, we have a National Moving Month. Yes, we will be busy this summer, so we always recommend calling us as soon as possible. Let us come out, do an on-site estimate. Let us meet you.
If you've got a move coming up, go to movingteam6.com for more information.
Your move is our mission.
Drivers who switch their home and auto with Progressive could save money and time. Other things try to do this, but they really don't. Like the touchscreen at fast food places. It's not like you save time because it takes you longer to use a touchscreen than, I don't know, someone who works there. And another thing, you'd think it would save money because they're not paying a cashier, right? But no, same price. Also, why is there an option to tip? Who am I tipping? Exactly. Anyway, even if you can't save money and time with some things, you could with a Progressive home and auto bundle. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers not available in all states or situations.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com. Or call 800-583-6681. That's 800-583-6681.
Hey everybody, Dan Bickley here with my great friend Shane O'Hanrahan, GM of Chapman BMW, the guy that can make your car buying dreams come true.
It's true, Dan. I can't tell you how many times somebody has called or emailed me and asked for me by name and said, hey, Dan Bickley sent me to get the hookup. And you know what? We make it happen. So put me to the test. I will make your dreams come true.
That's Chapman BMW, 2 great locations.
1 great experience.
If you're waiting for someone to come along and make your private student loan debt disappear, I need to be honest with you. That's not how private loans work. There's no forgiveness programs on the way, but there is Y-Refi, and they are the next best thing I've seen for people in this situation. Hi, it's Vince Murata, and Y-Refi helps people with distressed or defaulted private student loan debt refinance into a low fixed-rate payment they can actually handle. They don't make you feel bad about where you are. They don't grill you about how you got here. They meet you where you are and work with you to build something that makes sense for your budget, your income, your real life. If other lenders have told you no, that's actually where Y-Refi does their best work. They were built for the people traditional lenders give up on. Your private student loans don't get to define your future. Take back control today. Call 888-YREFI-85 or visit YREFI.com. That's the letter Y, REFY.com.
If your current plan for Mother's Day is still flowers and brunch, time to call an Audible. Space Solutions designs, builds, and installs custom mudrooms, closets, and pantries. It's time to upgrade the place she keeps running every day. Here's the play. Grab a Space Solutions gift card and let her choose a custom mudroom, closet, pantry, whatever she needs most. That's a better play. Text SPACE to 620-620 or visit spacesolutionsaz.com. Message and data rates may apply.
I'm Mitch Vareldis with Trending Now. It's presented by Parker & Sons Heating, Cooling, Plumbing, and Electrical.
I'm proud of what we did this year. I feel great about what we did this year. But at the same time, I want more, and we want more, and we're going to have more.
That's Phoenix Suns and Mercury owner Matt Ishbia earlier today in his end-of-season press conference. Ishbia and general manager Brian Gregory stressed an offseason centered around continuity and development, highlighting this being the first season under their stewardship with the same front office and coaching staff. For everything else Ishbia and Gregory had to say today, you can read more on ArizonaSports.com and the Arizona Sports app. Plus, be sure to stick around because sometime in the latter portion of the 4 o'clock hour, we're still waiting on confirm, but Matt Ishbia will be joining Burns & Gamble today to discuss the upcoming Suns off-season. Okay, positive from today's Diamondbacks finale. Ildemaro Vargas just keeps hitting. It's now 26 consecutive games for Vargy, 23 straight
to begin the 2026 season. The negative, the Diamondbacks were blown out for a second time in 3 games. Today, it was 13-1 at the hands of the Brewers. Arizona will start a new series on Friday afternoon in Chicago against the Cubs. And then in NFL news, defensive tackle Calais Campbell not done playing. He's reportedly signed a 1-year deal with the Baltimore Ravens. Campbell returns to Baltimore after a 3-year stint that he had at the beginning of the decade. This report is brought to you by The Window Depot. Did you know The Window Depot is more than just windows? We have doors, skylights, cabinets, countertops, even flooring. They're a proud partner of the Arizona Diamondbacks. Check them out at thewindowdepot.com.
Hello, I'm Johnny Cash, and I'm going to listen to Bickley and Murata mornings tomorrow as they talk about Matt Ishbia and Brian Gregory. I like those cats. I think they're fine, 'cause they're aligned. 6 a.m. on Arizona Sports.
Did he come back into the office to record that?
For what it's worth, it's a callback to a song parody he did after the multiple aligned statements.
With what Cash song? I walk the line. I walk the line. I am aligned. Okay, so it's okay. That makes sense.
But you had to know that, which I'm sure.
You know what? Now that you explain it that way, if he did a song parody to Walk the Line with Aligned and the Phoenix Suns, then okay. Jarrett, I'm sorry. That's acceptable. At least it is to me. I don't know about Campbell. I'm looking at it. It is a great song.
It's a great song.
The Line. Yeah, it's fantastic.
Johnny Cash.
We talked about the Matt Ishbia press conference today. And of all due respect, I should say it was the Matt Ishbia and Brian Gregory press conference. He spoke today as well. We're going to have Matt Ishbia on the show sometime in the 4 o'clock hour. We're not quite sure. Brian Gregory today says they play anybody other than Oklahoma City, they're winning at least one of Game 3 or Game 4.
In Game 3 and 4, probably, I'll say it, if we play just about anybody else, we either get a split or win both those games. That's how well we played, okay? At the same time, it wasn't good enough. So what are we going to do about it? And that's part of the challenge that we throw out, not only to the coaching staff, but to the players in particular. Like, what are we going to do? And that's a challenge, and we got competitive guys. They'll meet that challenge.
You going to say it, or should I?
No, go ahead.
What are you prepared to do?
What are you prepared to do?
And then what are you prepared to do?
I think that's probably your second favorite movie.
It's certainly the one I quote the most. I love The Untouchables. I absolutely love. If you have not seen The Untouchables, 1987, directed by Brian De Palma, starring
You got the shot.
Kevin Costner, a very young Andy Garcia, very great Sean Connery, a very great Robert De Niro. Please watch The Untouchables. It was really good.
That's my favorite scene.
You got him? Yeah, I got him. Take him. Take him. You asked me a question earlier. And I really didn't mean like to poop all over it, but you asked me.
Forget it. I'm not going to give you my recommendation for a good restaurant in Rome. You want to know where the locals go? I'm not going to tell you. No,
maybe I should have reminded you.
Go where all the tourists go. I won't give you my spots, my local spots.
You asked me a question. If Jalen Green doesn't miss 50 games, do the Suns?
Are they a play-in team?
Are they a playoff, not a play-in team, right? Yeah. And I responded, I think you're asking the wrong question.
I think it's Dylan.
I think it's Dylan. I don't believe, and this is my personal opinion here, I don't believe that the trifecta of those three can work because I don't think Jalen Green works for it.
Work to what level? What's working? Like to win a championship, or to be a top 4 seed, or to be a top 6 seed and not be in the playoffs? Like, what's your definition of how far it can go?
Maximizing the value of Devin Booker is where I would start, because I think those two are not complementary pieces to each other.
Okay.
I don't. I just think it was not a coincidence that the team, when it was Devin Booker and Dylan Brooks, worked, and it was Devin Booker and Jalen Green didn't. Now, I understand everybody missed a lot of time last year, and I've got a Gregory cut here that I'm going to play in just a second, in which he really doubles down on that threesome working. I don't think that threesome works because I just don't think the fit with Booker and Green is very good.
Yeah. Could it be better? Yes. Jalen Green has maybe as much upside as anybody on that team. He's a young athletic freak, which is something that they need. He could get to the basket. I like Jalen Green. I do. I like him. Now, you could talk about fit. I get it. But Jalen's got the ability to do things that other guys on this roster just can't do. He's got incredible athleticism, a burst of speed that nobody else has, that quick first step. He could get to the basket. I want to see more of it before I say, I don't think these three can work. I think they need better pieces around them to support them, but I'm not ready to say it can't work because I do think that Jalen Green is a heck of a player.
And that's what the other thing I don't know if I totally understand, because all I heard today was continuity, player development, continuity to player development. Are they going to get better pieces around those three, or is this largely going to be the same basketball team next year? Because if it's largely the same basketball team, I don't know if those three can get better with the pieces they have around
It'll
them.
largely be the same basketball team outside of there could be a trade here or there. You know, could I see them trading a Grayson Allen or a Royce O'Neal? Yes. Do I see them trading Dillon, Book, or Brooks? No. Malawach or Fleming? No. So I think it's relatively going to be the same team next year. And they're going to build it on the continuity and the development that you heard in the press conference.
Here's the cut that I promised Brian Gregory, the Suns GM, on the trio of Booker, Brooks, and Green, and whether they can find a little more continuity just by having more games together.
100%. At the same time, what does that mean? That means that improvement, development, efficiency along all three of them have to, continue to improve. I think you're talking about three guys who are driven to become better, three guys who are driven to become better overall basketball players, to do what is asked of them to help the team be successful and win. And so when you have that baseline, it puts you in a pretty effective spot to continue to move forward. So I have all the confidence in the world in those three guys, not only in their work ethic, the time they're gonna put in this summer, but also them being self-aware and self-critical. You have to be able to take a look in the mirror and say, okay, I need to improve in these particular areas, not only for them playing better, but for the team to play better as well. And I think all three will do it.
I think if they came back intact, I think that they would be better than they were last year. I do. The key thing is not having Dillon Brooks miss 3 weeks and not have Jalen Green missed 50 games out of the season, and that's going to be important too, because I just think that in many ways, I think Rasheed Fleming is going to take a huge step next year. I could see Fleming starting at power forward. I could see that. I could see a world in which that kid starts next year and Malawach gets a lot more minutes. So I do think that they would be better. How much better, I don't know. I still think they got to add other pieces. Better fit. They got to get a little more size, a little bit more length. They've got to be nice to have a real, a veteran backup power forward to help Rasheed. I would like to see that.
Yeah, and I guess that's the question I have, and maybe when we have Matt on, I'll ask him the question. You say continuity, you say player development. Where's the cutoff for that? I mean, does Grayson Allen count for that? Does Royce O'Neal count for that? Because if you are talking about putting better players around your big three, you don't have a ton of avenues to be able to do it. If you don't want to do anything major, and I don't. The only thing major I would want them to do, and I know this is really going to sound like I'm anti-Jalen Green, I would look to trade Jalen Green. I mean, that's me, because I don't think his game fits well with Devin Booker's. I think what Devin Booker needs next to him is much more of a shot maker / creator, and I think Green is way too much of the former and just not nearly enough of the latter to be able to play next to Devin Booker and have it work effectively. And so, for me, I would move him, but I get it. They're saying no big swings. They're not going to do anything big. They're going to run it back next year, and that's fine. Do they have the pieces to be able to improve the roster around their big three guys with what they've got? I don't know if they do.
Have the 47th pick in the draft. There was a mock draft today that had them taking the Arizona kid, Jaden Bradley. At number 47 that you sent to me. I was like, I love Jaden Bradley. The draft is probably really good 1 through 12, and then after that, it's the players you're getting at 15 are going to be the similar players to what you're getting at 25 and 30 and 35. Could they move up a little bit in that draft? Could they move up from 47 to 35 or something to get a player? Possibly. But I don't think that they've got 3 first-round draft picks in the next 4 years. I don't think they're trading these picks to go get a player. So it's going to have to come from somewhere else, which very well may be a trade of Grayson Allen or Royce O'Neal or, could you do a sign and trade with Mark Williams? I think keeping Williams is still a priority for them. I'm not saying it's not, but there are limited avenues to really add a lot more talent to the roster.
They just have to be careful with how they keep Mark Williams. They have
qualifying off for 1 year, I would love it.
Yeah, they just have to be careful about how they do it because I think any long-term commitment to him, any even semi-long-term commitment to Mark Williams, then it just deflects it right back to Kaman Malawach, and it's like, okay, well, what are we doing there? Like Kaman Malawach has to be developed, and he has to give them more significant minutes next year, And
listen, these guys are going to get a whole summer. They're going to play in the summer league again. They're going to go out there and go in the summer league. You got to work with them. So this summer is going to be very important for the development of these players.
Very important for him. Very important for Rasheer Fleming, for Kobe Brea. Can he make inroads next year?
Kobe Brea.
I do too.
I like him.
I'm curious to see if he can enter into the conversation somehow, some way, and maybe make a Grayson Allen or a Royce O'Neal more expendable because of his ability to shoot. I don't know.
He didn't shoot a lot for the Phoenix Suns, but let me just see what his three-point shooting percentage was. So, played in 12 games. He shot 43.3% from three-point range. 43.3. He took 30. He made 13. This kid's a great shooter. I mean, I like him a lot.
Yeah,
I do.
If you're hungry for a win, text the word SMASHER to 620-620 for your shot at $25 Sonic gift cards and an autographed Diamondbacks baseball. One grand prize winner takes home a $500 gift card to Sonic. Think of a number in your head. What week will Carson Beck start a game for the Arizona Cardinals this season? What was the number that clicked into your mind when I said that? That's next on Burns and Gambo.
Bickley and Marotta Mornings.
Devin Booker, he sounded very, very happy with what year one under Jordan Ott looked and felt like. So Devin Booker's not going to go ask for a trade. He sees this as kind of, okay, I'm finally going to have some continuity here. So how do you make this work around Devin Booker? How does this basketball team maximize the player that Devin Booker actually is?
Simple. We've seen it. Just acquire 12 Hall of Famers.
I didn't know that.
And
That's
let
where
Devin
you were going.
Booker be Olympic book.
Yes.
They're untouchable.
Bickley and Marotta. Mornings on Arizona Sports, the local sports leader.
Love telling you about the Lund Mortgage Team. They're available nights, weekends, anywhere you are in the Valley to help you with all of your mortgage needs, refinancing, new home loans, getting you pre-approved for a mortgage. They do it all. Over 30 years in the industry, right here in Arizona. They'll do a great job for you. Now, a lot of people out there looking to purchase homes right now. The home prices have come down. We've seen interest rates level off and be good for some people. The Lund Mortgage Team can get you pre-approved for free. You say, how do I buy a house? I don't know if I can. I don't know if I could get the mortgage. Let the Lund Mortgage Team take care of everything for you. They'll tell you exactly what type of house you can afford, exactly what type of house you could look for. You don't want to look for a house that's $100,000 over what you're able to afford, even $50,000 over. You want to look for houses in your price range. By getting pre-approved, you'll get an exact number of what type of house you can afford, and that way you are looking for houses in your range, and you can find that house and be confident that you'll be able to buy it. Call the Lund Mortgage Team at 623-889-0130 for any and all of your mortgage needs. That's 623-889-0130.
When the dollar's convertibility into gold ended in 1971, gold was fixed at $35 an ounce. Fast forward to today, and the U.S. dollar has lost over 85% of its purchasing power. Meanwhile, gold has increased in value by over 12,000%. Central banks are buying gold at record levels. Major firms are holding significant positions in gold. And I choose to buy gold from Birch Gold Group. It's Dan Bongino, and it all starts with education. Birch Gold just announced their Learn and Earn Precious Metals event. This free online event rewards you for learning the basics of investing in precious metals. Sign up to get free silver on your next purchase if you qualify. And you can get even larger incentives as you go. The more you learn, the more you can earn. But act now. This special event only runs through April 30th. So text my name, Dan, to the number 989898 to join Birch Gold's Learn and Earn Precious Metals event by April 30th. Text Dan to 989898 today. Message and data rates may apply.
For over 40 years, Collins Comfort Masters has provided trusted, certified technicians. And with nearly 11,000 five-star reviews, the Valley agrees. Right now, you can upgrade to an EcoWater Whole Home Premium System for as low as $60 a month OAC and get cleaner, better water at every tap. Call 480-NO-WORRY or visit collinscomfort.com. Collins Comfort Masters, your no-worry solution for air conditioning, plumbing, electrical, and water filtration. That's collinscomfort.com.
Hi, I'm Jacob, your friend and an actual jeweler at Chain Company. I'm proud to work for a family business that's been committed to the highest quality standards for nearly 100 years. Your dream engagement ring is designed for quality every step of the way. We set your diamond by hand, never with machines. Prong tips are beautiful and secure, and intricate details are thoughtfully crafted. At Shane Company, there's no shortcuts, just craftsmanship, because a friend knows true love deserves the highest quality. Visit us in store or at shaneco.com. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Why should you hire America's largest injury law firm for your case? There's lots of reasons. Just like there's a reason millions of people called us last year in their time of need. When it comes to fighting for justice and compensation, millions of people across the country trust us to go to battle for them. We became the largest injury law firm in the world for a reason. There's only one Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com. Injured? Dial #law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Staples has hundreds of ways to grow your business this spring, like spectacular signs, brilliant brochures, eye-popping posters, mouth-watering menus, and more. Shop now through June 13th and save up to $150 on all your custom prints. Staples, that was easy.
Hey, this is Jared, and tomorrow we'll talk D-backs Brewers. The good news is Drip Vargas continued his hitting streak. The bad news, everything else. Tune in at 6 a.m. on Arizona Sports 98.7, the Arizona Sports app, and the Arizona Sports YouTube channel.
Welcome back. It's Burns and Gambo on this Thursday afternoon. We got on the air a little late because of that terrible, awful, no-good Diamondbacks game in which Ildemaro Vargas did continue his hit streak and is now inching ever closer to Luis Gonzalez for the top spot in franchise history. He still has to get past Goldie, but the Ildemaro Vargas story continues, even if the rest of the team was not so hot today. You held up a number for our YouTube crowd when I said, when it comes to what week Carson Beck is going to make his first start in, you held up a number to the YouTube crowd.
I went with 12.
12?
Yeah, I think so. On the high end, I'm between 10 and 12. If you gave me a window, I'd say between 10 and 12.
Okay.
I'll go high end 12. That gives him 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. That gives him 6 starts.
Okay.
On the high end, I think he gets 8 starts, and that would be week 10. So he could be 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 8. So I think on the high end, he'll get 8 starts. I don't think he'll start before that. Unless he absolutely just blows him away in camp, has a great preseason, or if somebody gets hurt. Like, here's the thing. Okay.
Or if somebody gets traded.
Okay.
As has been suggested by a couple
I would
of people.
absolutely be...
Dun.
I said to you last week, I said, keep this date in mind, November 4th.
You did.
Keep this date in mind. That's a trade deadline. If a team wants Jacoby Brissett at the trade deadline, you get as much out of him as you can, and you're ready to turn it over to Carson Beck. Go ahead.
I'm going to go with week 8. I think week 8 he makes his first start.
Week 8, okay.
Because I don't, quite frankly, I don't see any reason why not to start him that early. You know, it's like the why. It's why not? Why not give Carson Beck a lot of starts? You drafted him in a maybe not a prime spot in the first round, but a prime enough start where I think you'd be doing yourself a disservice by not giving him a bunch of starts just to make sure he's not the guy. And I mean, your numbers, okay, I just think, why not more? Well, why not give him even a little bit more than that just to make absolute sure that you haven't actually found something in him before you go spending a first-round draft pick on another one next year?
Here's the thing. All these other teams that drafted quarterbacks, Kansas City drafted a quarterback, right?
Yeah. That's smart.
They don't have to play him. They don't have to play him at all.
No.
The Rams don't have to play Ty Simpson at all.
Not one bit.
The Cardinals have to play Carson Beck.
Yes.
You have to know if you need to there's projections that they're going to get Arch Manning number 1 overall next year in the draft.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And nothing against Carson Beck, but if you put yourself in that position, I'm drafting Arch Manning. I'm going to draft him. So the only way I'm not drafting a quarterback is if Carson Beck comes in and lights it up, and it can't be a small sample size.
And that's why I advocate for starting him earlier. I mean, I was in complete lockstep with everything that you just said. That's why, to me, Week 12 doesn't cut it. I think
you want more.
I think Week 8, Week 7. I mean, for every reason that you just eloquently put out there. Yeah, you need to know. You need to find out because you can't let anything stop you from drafting Arch Manning. You can't let anything stop you from taking Dante Moore.
But you could go to Carson Beck and say, give me a reason not to draft him.
That's what I mean. He's got to be.
Give me a reason.
He's got to be so good. And he's got to, give you these visions of what he can accomplish. I just think you're giving him a better chance to do that with the more starts he gets. And really, we have no expectations for this season. We have the lowest expectations we possibly can. I saw Lauren sent us another projection that has the Cardinals as the worst team in the NFL last year. The win-loss projections next year, they're already the lowest at 4.5. I mean, so why not? Well, why not give him a bunch of starts? Why not see what you got? Jacoby Brissett's not your quarterback of the future. Goodness knows Gardner Minshew isn't. Start him. See.
Jacoby Brissett goes down with an injury. You go to Gardner Minshew?
Again,
you go to Carson Beck?
It just depends. I would go to Beck, but so much of this depends on what you said a second ago. How does Beck look? Is he ready? Is he overwhelmed? Does he have a good camp? Does he have a bad camp? Is he not? Because I'm making this assumption that a guy who's made 43 starts and who's played college football for 6 years is more ready to go than your garden variety rookie quarterback in the NFL. He should be, in theory, right? He should be ready for more sooner than a guy who made 17 starts, 18 starts, however many Fernando Mendoza made. I don't know what the number was. However many Kyler Murray made when he became the number 1 starter right out of the chute. I just think you got a quarterback like that, use it. Take advantage of it.
Right.
See what you got.
Yeah. Three games is if he plays 3 games and he lights it up in those games, I'm still drafting Arch Manning because I'm only basing it on 3 games.
Because you haven't given yourself enough data to make sure whether he's the answer or not. There was a story on NFL.com today. If no rookie starters start in Week 1, it would be the first time since 2022 when Week 1 with 0 rookie quarterbacks was a thing. That was the Kenny Pickett year.
Oh,
okay. Before that,
who was the quarterback that was compared to Kenny Pickett in the profiles we did?
Was it Simpson? I think it was No, was it Aller? No, it wasn't Aller.
Was it Beck?
Aller's Joe Flacco.
That's Joe.
I think Beck was Pickett.
I think Beck.
Do you have the Carson Beck profile?
I think you're right. I think
it's Kenny Pickett.
I think it was,
which is not good.
No, it's not.
He better not be Kenny Pickett.
Do we play it? Yeah, go for it.
Carson Beck, quarterback, Miami.
The 6'5", 233-pounder nearly tied the perfect bow on his college career with a national championship appearance as a Hurricane. Even with the loss in the champ game, Beck has plenty to write home about, including his ACC-leading 72.4% completion percentage and 157 passer rating. He has a quick release and works through his progressions, but struggles under pressure. He may not be a first-round talent, but plenty of quarterback-needy teams could take a chance on the signal caller in the later rounds. NFL comp, Carolina Panthers quarterback Kenny Pickett.
This NFL Draft Player Profile is brought to you by Bud Light.
Kenny Pickett. Before the Kenny Pickett year, the last time Week 1 of the NFL season opened without a rookie quarterback getting a start, 2007 was the last time we didn't have a Week 1 rookie quarterback starter. So their predictions were Fernando Mendoza starts in Week 5. Ty Simpson.
Week 5.
Ty Simpson gets a spot start in Week 18.
Okay.
But is not the full-time starter until 2028.
Okay.
And they predict Carson.
Last game of the season, sit Stafford out, rest for the playoffs, okay?
And they predict Carson Beck, his first start of the season happens in Week 13.
Okay.
I think that's way too late.
So that's 13, 14, 15, 16. That's 5 games.
Way too late. More.
Does it depend? Does any of it depend on your record? I mean, if I'm cruising along towards that number 1 overall pick, man, I don't want to mess that up.
Are you really worried Carson Beck is going to mess that up? He's a rookie quarterback.
No, but that might be a reason to play him too. Is I want to lose some games here.
I mean,
let's play the rookie quarterback.
I think
instead of the veteran.
I think the only way you don't play Carson Beck because of the record is if the record is better than you think it's
right,
and
then you're going to try to win.
You go, okay, well now we're trying to win football games, and I don't think we expect too much of that. But just interesting to see when. To your point, it all depends on how he does and how he looks, because none of this matters without that. When we come back, 4:00 reset time. We'll go talk to Lauren and see what's going on in the world of sports next here on Burns and Gambo.
High school sports on Arizona Sports, the local sports leader, and the Kevin McCabe Show. Every Saturday morning, 9 to 11. His nickname is The Dean, and it's earned because no one supports high school sports in Arizona like Kevin McCabe does. Catch the Kevin McCabe Show Saturday morning, 9 to 11 on the Arizona Sports app at 98.7.
Hey everybody, Dan Bickley here, and we all know how important the home court advantage can be in sports, and that's exactly what you'll get from my friends at Advanced Window Products. They are a local window and door manufacturer that sells directly to the public. They've got their own factory right here in the Valley, which means you get faster turnaround times, no middleman markups, and windows that are custom built for your home, not generic sizes, retrofitted on site. Now, most window companies are just resellers, not Advanced Window Products. They'll build your windows, install your windows, then guarantee them for life, and that installation is done by vetted, trained, full-time crews, not subcontractors. Their windows also engineered for Arizona's extreme climate, which lowers your energy bills year-round, and during their spring special, you can get $2,500 off the purchase of 10 or more windows. Give them a call at 480-764-2110. Find them online at advancedwindows.com.
So we just added a new member to our family, our Ford family. Yep, a new Bronco Sport. Paul Calvisier went down to our Desert Ford dealers. We're like, you know what? The Bronco Sport has everything you need. Style, tech, an adventurous spirit. Like Ford says, the Bronco Sport is savagely civilized. One weekend, it's a ruddy trail. The next, a 2-track incline. With 4 models available, Ford lets us write our own story. And now, with new available packages, you can customize your favorite Bronco Sport SUV even more. And even better, right now, get a $2,500 gas card or $2,500 cash back. Plus, Ford owners get an additional $500 cash back on a 2025 Bronco Sport. Again, get a $2,500 gas card or $2,500 cash back right now. Plus, Ford owners get an additional $500 cash back on a 2025 Bronco Sport. But it all ends April 30th at our Desert Ford dealers. Just click buyfordnow.com.
Why'd I go to the doctor? Working on the farm, my heart kept skipping a beat. I didn't think much of it, but my daughters made me get checked out. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit notimetowait.com. Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
My name is Christine, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, was a healthy 34-year-old, and 3 months later, he was gone. Thankfully, he had life insurance. Ethos made it so easy. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. 100% online, no medical exam. Life insurance didn't take away the loss, but it did give us the space to just grieve.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/music. ethos.com/music. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Hey, homeowners, if you're thinking about moving this spring, you've probably run into this problem. You can't buy your next home until you sell your current one, but you don't want to sell until you know where you're going. So you wait and miss out, or you rush and lose money. Carol Royce with Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty has your solution. With Carol's Buy Before You Sell program, you can buy your next home, then sell your current home the right way for top dollar without carrying 2 mortgages. Don't miss this opportunity. Call Carol Royce today or visit carolhasthebuyers.com.
Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, this is Dave Burns.
And John Gambadoro.
And every year we hear far too many heartbreaking stories involving children and water.
Please take 2 seconds out of your day to help prevent these tragedies.
Learn life-saving water safety tips and get free swim lessons from the YMCA while supplies last.
Go to Fulton2seconds.com or text SWIM to 620-620.
And never forget that 2 seconds is too long to take your eyes off kids near water.
This is Doug Fulton of
Fulton Homes, proud to partner with KTAR to keep your kids safe around water.
KMVP FM Phoenix, live from the Casino Arizona and Talking Stick Resort Studio. Arizona Sports, the local sports leader.
I'm Mitch Vareldes with Trending Now. It's presented by Parker & Sons Heating, Cooling, Plumbing, and Electrical.
I'm proud of what we did this year. I feel great about what we did this year. But at the same time, I want more, and we want more, and we're going to have more.
Phoenix Suns and Mercury owner Matt Ishbia from earlier today in his end-of-season press conference. Ishbia and general manager Brian Gregory stressed an offseason centered around continuity and development, highlighting that this will be the first season under their stewardship with the same front office and coaching staff. For everything else Ishbia and Gregory had to say today, you can read more right now on Arizonasports.com and on the Arizona Sports app. And be sure to hang around this hour because Ishbia will be joining Burns and Gambo sometime in this 4 p.m. hour, probably the latter part of the hour. We're going to talk about the upcoming Suns offseason. All right, positive from today, Diamondback finale. Ildemaro Vargas, he pushed that career-long hitting streak to 26 games, 23 straight if you're just including the 2026 season. The negative, the Diamondbacks were blown out again. Second time in 3 games, and today it was 13-1 at the hands of the Brewers. Arizona will start a fresh series Friday afternoon in Chicago against the Cubbies. And then in NFL news, defensive tackle Calais Campbell not done playing. He's reportedly signed a 1-year deal with the Baltimore Ravens, so just switching up his bird choice. Campbell returns to Baltimore after a 3-year stint at the beginning of this decade. This report is brought to you by Ready Services Plumbing and Air Conditioning. Ready Services Plumbing and Air Conditioning is home of the no-fee emergency. Want to save you money on your AC or plumbing issues? It's ReadyServices.com, saving you money since 1957. Get ready, because here we come.
Arizona Sports, the local sports leader.
Time to find out what's going on in sports. We haven't done a reset in the last couple of days because we've had these shorter shows.
Wait, it's 2 hours. Good night, everybody.
No. No, we're here till 6. We're here tomorrow till 6. Did you not get the memo?
What's wrong with this place?
Nothing's wrong with
By
Lauren.
the way, I want to thank Mark. Mark,
yeah.
Mark dropped off some RC Cola for me.
Lovely.
Yes, RC Cola.
Wow.
Regular and cherry cola.
If only the world worked that I spoke things I wanted on air and then it was delivered to me
I was just looking
minutes
for a
later.
place that has the bottles because I always like the bottle. He brought in the cans, which are fine. So I want to thank Mark for bringing in the RC Cola because as a New Yorker, like we grew up with RC Cola, like as much as Coke or Pepsi, it's very popular. Here, not so much.
Never met anybody who lives a more charmed, better life than John Gambadoro. He says he wants
really-
RC Cola, and RC Cola just shows up at his doorstep.
He really is like the Miranda Priestley of,
He really is.
this office.
He just says it, and it
Here
shows
it
up.
is.
It shows up.
But thank you, Mark. I wasn't expecting that, but thank you, Mark. I appreciate that.
Well, thank you, Mark, for the
Yes.
start of this 4
Can I
o'clock
have one
reset.
later?
Let's put some in the fridge. We'll put some in the fridge. You'll love it. RC Cola is great.
Yeah, okay. Sounds good.
I'll be back in 5 minutes.
Yeah. All right, so now it's the Lauren show. Lauren, take it away. What's going on in sports?
We'll lead off with some NBA news because Matt Ishbia addressed the media earlier today. He'll be joining us within the hour, but he had this to say about Dylan Brooks.
Dylan represents everything we talked about. When I talk about culture and identity and toughness and care and work ethic, that's Dylan Brooks. Dylan Brooks made a massive jump. A lot of you will talk about his offense, and he made a massive jump, and he earned that.
Brooks went on to post on Instagram a series of photos from this season with him in a Phoenix Suns jersey saying, "From day one, you embraced me, showed me so much love through the ups and downs. I came here with a chip on my shoulder, and you all gave me a home. Phoenix, thank you for riding with us through it all. We'll be back."
Played his ass off for this team in the
Sure
fan
did.
base.
Did.
He played as hard as he could all the time. Nobody ever questioned his efforts. We might question how much he shoots the ball, but nobody ever questioned whether
and
he was
how many
prepared.
fouls he tacks up.
But that's just part of who he is, and that's part of his, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander said it best, like, I know him, this whole Dylan the villain thing, like, for people that know him really well, He's not really a villain, but he's got to play that character to the rest of the NBA and the fan base.
Something I'm curious about, he's eligible for a 4-year contract extension this season worth up to $125 million. Suns have to be a little careful on this one. He'll be 31 and nearly 32 when that new contract would start. Gotta be careful a little bit with how well Dillon Brooks is going to age and how long of a contract they're going to want to give him to stay around.
How old is he right now?
Right now, he's 30. He'll turn 31 in January of next year.
Okay.
So he'll be halfway through the final year of his current deal.
And then he's due for a 4-year deal.
And then if he gets a new 4-year deal on top of that...
I wouldn't go 4, but I would... Would I go 2 or 3 years for Dillon Brooks?
Well, yeah,
Damn right I
I'm
would.
just talking the 4 years
the
now.
4 years
that's
is
what I'm
risky.
talking about. I'm not saying no extension. I'm just saying he's at that age where you got to be a little thoughtful about what you're doing if you're the Suns.
And some other NBA news. The Milwaukee Bucks have hired Taylor Jenkins to be their next head coach. That made official today. And NBA playoff update. Today's games, Knicks and the Hawks, they tip off in just any minute from now because it's an NBA game. They were supposed to tip off 6 minutes ago, so we'll see when it actually happens. The Knicks, they have a 3-2 lead in that one. Boston and Philly play tonight. Boston leads 3-2. Denver and Minnesota play later tonight. Minnesota leads 3-2 in that one.
I've got the Nuggets winning the series. I was surprised last night that the Rockets won in L.A. Austin Reeves returned. Didn't shoot the ball very well, obviously a little rusty, but the Rockets were able to hold on and win that game and beat the Lakers. Now they go back to Houston.
And Kevin Durant has already been ruled out for that game in Houston. That Game 6, he will not play with that ankle injury.
Right.
So will Houston force a Game 7 without Kevin Durant? And
they're at home. They should.
They should. In theory, they should. So the Knicks, the Celtics, and the Timberwolves can all advance with wins tonight.
I was like when
the
you watch a Knicks game in New York and a Laker game in LA, and it's almost like a competition of who's in the crowd.
Oh, yeah, the celebrity,
here it is. Here's who's in New York. Here's who's in LA.
Here's Spike Lee. Here's Ben Stiller. Here's Noah Wiley. Here's, whatever.
Do they really think we care?
Yes,
I could care less who's sitting at these games.
I don't need to see Timothy Chalamet and Kylie Jenner one more time at a Knicks game. I'm good.
You know who cares? My wife cares when we're watching.
Oh, she does not.
She doesn't care,
Well,
but she's
that
curious.
makes me change my tune. I like your wife.
I don't think...
Not anymore.
Cares is strong. She's curious. She's curious.
Okay.
She looks at that. That makes her, otherwise she's not paying any attention at all. But the part where they show the celebrities that are there, she kind of looks up from over her book that she's reading and goes, oh, Chalamet's there, or something like that. And then it's just right back to the book.
The only celebrity
I
cared
feel
about.
Gambo judging my wife, and that's fine.
No, was it the fact that he basically rolled his eyes and then looked away from you?
I feel him judging my wife, and that's okay.
Okay, well, good on you. I was going to say the only celebrity I cared about in any of last night's game, sitting courtside at the Lakers game, Brenda Song. That's who I care about. That is my childhood.
From the Sweet Life of Zach and Cody.
Yes.
From the Sweet Life of Zach and Cody.
She's from the Sweet Life of Zach and Cody. She is engaged, I believe, to Macaulay Culkin. They have 2 kids. She has elite sports knowledge.
Yeah, she does.
It's incredible.
Didn't she play? She was in
the Rams schedule announcement video last year.
She was also in that show with Kate Hudson where she
Running
played.
Point, that's still on right now.
Yeah, right.
She's like an executive.
I'm trying to look her. What's her name?
Brenda Song. She was a kid in the Sweet Life of Zach and Cody, and
she looks familiar.
You probably watched the Sweet Life of Zach and Cody with your kids.
You walked through the living room, you probably noticed her many times.
Probably.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. No, not ringing a bell.
She looks familiar. She looks familiar.
That's a lot for Gambo. She looks familiar is basically him.
Was she like a big hit on? Was she like the big star on it?
She was a big Disney Channel star. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, tomorrow's games, Pistons versus the Magic. Magic lead 3-2. Cavs versus Raptors. Cavs lead 3-2. And like you guys said, Lakers, Rockets.
A lot of 3-2s.
A lot of 3-2s.
A lot of 3-2s.
Wrap these up. Let's go. Wrap these up. Let's move on to the next
Let's get to
round.
the next
Wrap
series,
it up.
everyone. All right, MLB news. The Diamondbacks, they lost 13-1 to the Brewers today. James McCann came in and pitched for the Diamondbacks.
For the 4th time.
One. Yeah, that's a lot of times for, checks the date, April 30th at this point. The D-backs start a series against the Chicago Cubs tomorrow. First pitch for that one is at 11:20.
The only good thing to come from today is Ildemaro Vargas singled in the left. His hitting streak is now 26. That matches Paul Goldschmidt for the second longest hitting streak in Diamondbacks history.
You know who's...
He can pass Goldie with one more, and then next up would only be Gonzo at 30. That's the only one left.
You know who's pulling for him to break Gonzo's record?
Gonzo?
I was talking with him about it last night. He's like, if anybody's going to take it, I'd want it to be him. He's a great person. He's a great teammate. Everybody loves him. Probably Luis Gonzalez.
Yeah, what a nice thing to say.
He's like one of the best people I've ever known, Luis Gonzalez. I said, he's coming for you. He's like, I hope he breaks it. I hope he breaks it.
Come for me.
Like records like these things all the records are eventually going to be broken. I'm pulling for this kid. Everybody loves him. You're just so classy. I'd be hoping he went 0 for 4 so I could keep my record.
You're great, Gonzo. You're better. You're a bigger man than Gambo.
That's the difference.
That's the difference right there. Gambo would be like, don't touch my record. Don't touch my record. It's my record. It belongs to me. Don't touch it.
I'd be like the 72 Dolphins. They don't want anybody to go undefeated. They don't want anybody to go undefeated.
Gamba or Gonzo, God bless you for being a bigger man than John Gambadoro.
He's just such a good person.
Much better.
Yeah, all right. And then a lot of NCAA news coming down. Gambo, U of A, and St. John's will meet on December 5th at Madison Square Garden as part of the Hall of Fame series. A return game will take place in Phoenix in 2027.
Wow.
I know where Gambo's going to be in 2027.
Oh.
Sitting courtside for the Johnnies versus the Cats.
Yelling at Patino as if they're best friends.
Gambo's going to have one of those jerseys that's like cut right down the middle. St. John's on one side, U of A on the other. Like he's a mom of
Whoever loses, he's going to be like, I knew you still sucked.
What's the date of the game this year?
December 5th at Madison Square Garden.
Wow.
What are you doing December 5th? Because I think it
It's a
might
Saturday.
be catching a flight to New York.
It's a Saturday. You should go. You should so go. You should so go. Fly to New York.
I should.
And then whoever wins gets Gambo's fandom for the season.
No,
You should go.
I'm going to root for St. John's.
There it is. Exposed.
I knew it.
Mm-hmm.
I knew it. I knew it.
You knew what?
That you would choose St. John's over U of A. I knew it. I knew that.
Okay, well then, congratulations. You knew it. I would root for St. John's.
When it comes back here in Phoenix in 2027, are you going to now root for U of A?
Depends on who wins the first time.
So listen, here's the difference. I spent 30 years living in New York, and I spent 30 years living here. Okay? But there's something different about, like, the first half of your life as a kid growing up with these teams and rooting for them that trumps what you are now. I love the teams. I freaking love the Diamondbacks. I love the Diamondbacks. I could never root for them over the Yankees, but I can now root for them over the Mets. And that was something I wouldn't have done 25 years ago. I would not have rooted for the Diamondbacks over the Mets. But I do now. If the Diamondbacks are playing the Mets, I want the Diamondbacks to win.
It's emotional growth right there, people.
Yeah.
Happening live.
Soak it up. Yeah.
All right. Quickly, we'll move on. The NCAA basketball tournament set to expand to
472 teams.
Boo.
This is so stupid. I really hate this. I really hate it.
And you know what else I hate? The next thing I'm going to bring up. Duke is entering a first-of-its-kind enterprise partnership with Amazon, which means it will broadcast 3 of their marquee college basketball games next season, including UConn in Las Vegas on November 25th, Michigan at Madison Square Garden on December 21st, and Gonzaga on February 20th in Detroit. The deal will include extensive NIL opportunities and funding for Duke athletics as part of a retail partnership expected to be announced in the coming months. That gets a double thumbs down from me.
They got to do something about this.
That is ridiculous.
They've got it. The Big 12 reached a private capital deal to add at least $12.5 million to the conference.
And that's just in the first prong of their new deal.
And an optional $30 million per school. It's getting so out of hand. This is why the NCAA expanding is a really bad idea. The Cinderellas are gone.
Yeah.
They're gone. We're not going to have these teams. You're a mid-major that has a good. They're taking that player from you. They're taking him. He's not staying there for 3 or 4 years. He's transferring to a power school that's going to pay him more money. There's no reason to expand because these teams at the bottom have no chance of doing anything in the tournament. None.
Yeah.
No. And with that, that's 4 o'clock race set.
Thank you, Lauren. Thanks for stopping by today's show and telling us what's going on. When we come back, is Devin Booker a true franchise player? What does that even mean anymore? We'll talk about it next on the Burns and Gambo Show.
Diamondbacks baseball.
As the 0-2 is cut on and missed, Woodford with a perfect night. He strikes out 2, and the Brewers win this one by a final score of 13-1. They humble the Diamondbacks in the rubber match. And for the D-backs, it is off to Chicago.
D-backs Brewers reaction and D-backs Cubs previewing from Arizona Sports on YouTube, the Arizona Sports app, and 98.7 FM.
Love telling you about M-Drive, the daily supplement I take every single day. M-Drive is a great supplement. I absolutely love it. It's great for endurance, stamina, recovery. There's a product that they have that it's their number one best-selling product. That's Sprouts and online, and it's called M-Drive Boost and Burn. Because there's a lot of guys out there, they get to 40, metabolism slows down, they start eating better, they start working out more, they start sleeping better, and they can't lose that 5 to 10 pounds of belly fat. They can't lose it. Like, I'm doing everything right. What can I? M-Drive Boost and Burn is designed specifically for you. So you can go in there and you can get yourself M-Drive Boost and Burn at Sprouts or online at mdriveformen.com. And it's going to help you lose that 5 to 10. This isn't something that's going to help you lose 80 pounds, okay? This is not, but it's for that. It's for most guys. You want to lose 5. How many guys feel, I feel like I look good, I'd love to lose 5 pounds, 10 pounds. This is for you. Go online at mdriveformen.com. That's mdriveformen.com. And put Gambo in the promo code and get a discount at mdriveformen.com.
A multi-billion-dollar settlement is paying claims for up to 21 years. If you were exposed to weed killers at work or at home, your rights are affected. If you or your family has or had non-Hodgkin lymphoma, you could receive $6,000 to $165,000 or more. This settlement impacts you even if you're not sick, because this blood cancer can take 10 to 15 years to appear. If you stay in the settlement, you give up your right to sue. Learn more at weedkillerclass.com or call 888-403-8201. Paid for by the Roundup Settlement.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit info kit. 800-290-7100. That's 800-290-7100.
Progressive knows you want to get away, but not like too away. You crave the unknown, but also charcuterie boards with 4 types of cheese. And that's exactly why you bought an RV and bundled it with Progressive, because 24/7 protection is one luxury you'll never have to give up. So go ahead, explore the wilderness, all from the comfort of your zero-gravity camp chair. Switch to Progressive and protect your RV, boat, or motorcycle by bundling with your home or auto insurance. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and third-party insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
A multi-billion-dollar settlement is paying claims for up to 21 years. If you were exposed to weed killers at work or at home, your rights are affected. If you or your family has or had non-Hodgkin lymphoma, you could receive $6,000 to $165,000 or more. This settlement impacts you even if you're not sick, because this blood cancer can take 10 to 15 years to appear. If you stay in the settlement, you give up your right to sue. Learn more at weedkillerclass.com or call 888-403-8201. Paid for by the Roundup Settlement.
The greatest 2 minutes in sports is coming this Saturday, May 2nd at the Trophy Bar in downtown Ocotillo in Chandler. Come early to enjoy the breakfast tacos, drink specials, and Shady Rays sunglasses giveaways during Bunker to Bunkers Live, broadcast from 7 to 9 a.m. from the Big Derby Day Bash presented by Santan Ford. Catch the action all day on the 16-foot HD TV and lay down a wager at Trophy Bar's brand new OTB facility. Come run for the roses at the Trophy Bar this Saturday.
Hey everybody, Dan Bickley here with my guy Bear, one of the Henley brothers that owns and operates Waltz TV and Appliance. And right now, if you spend $100 or more at Waltz, you'll get a free Gemini boombox.
That's the same one you've got, right, Bick?
Yep, and I love it. It's portable, super loud, great bass, and it even floats. Perfect for the pool or backyard hangouts.
Free, floats, and ready for summer? That's a win.
Everybody wins when shopping at Waltz, which you can find off the I-10 in Warner and online at waltz.com.
Back here on the Burns and Gambo show on Arizona Sports, the local sports leader, fresh off of his appearance at a press conference in downtown Phoenix earlier this morning, and back home, I believe, in Michigan right now. Joining us, as we knew he would, the owner of the Phoenix Suns, Matt Ishbia, here on the Burns and Gambo show. Matt, we hope this phone call finds you well. Thanks for coming on today. We always appreciate your time.
I appreciate you guys. Always love talking with you guys. Appreciate all that you do.
Yeah, what a difference a year makes for you. So congratulations to you and Josh and Brian and everybody in the organization, Coach Ott, for what you guys did. A year ago, this team was really at the lowest of lows. You had a basketball team that not a lot of fans related to, not a fans liked. Some people thought it was unwatchable. And within 1 year, you turned it into a team that far exceeded expectations, that made it to the playoffs, that was a fun, exciting team to watch, that played hard. Everything you said was going to happen. So congratulations. Are you somewhat surprised at how quickly you were able to turn this team into being competitive?
No, thank you for the kind words. You know, we're proud of what we've done, and at the same time, we've got a lot more work to do. I'm not surprised. I'm pleased that we were able to do it as quickly. I thought that we would make the changes. I know the things that we said we were going to do. It's hard. It's easy to say, hard to do, and actually hard to do and people to realize it. And I think we did it where people realized it also, that you can actually watch the game and see that we play hard. You can see that the type of care and love the players had. You can see a different energy and vibe and grit and toughness. And so very proud of it. At the same time, it's 1 year, and this is the culture that we want. This is what Suns basketball is going to be going forward. And so we got to continue it, and we got to continue to lean in on it and not change and not make it so that we fall back to another way. And so I'm happy to get more involved as I was, and I'm happy that our team and our leadership around was able to execute at the level that we did. And at the same time, we got a lot more work to do because we haven't hit our goals yet.
You talked about Devin Booker today in your press conference, and you mentioned he's going to be a Sun forever, and he's going to win a championship here, and he's not going anywhere, and you love him, and everybody does. Everybody loves Devin Booker. But I'm going to ask you honestly, do you feel like you need to have more out of Devin Booker to get to where you want to go, considering the struggles from three-point range and the lack of aggressiveness in some of those players, some of the playoff games? Do you feel like you need to get a better version of Devin Booker for next season?
You know, I guess I would say we might have to have a slightly different version of Devin Booker as we evolve towards a championship level. Right now, we're a 45-win team, first-round exit, okay, and we have a bunch of young guys that are developing, and Devin Booker is the leader. Devin Booker is doing a lot of things off the ball, on the ball. He's doing a lot of things playmaking, and he's going to have to continue to evolve his game along with we have to evolve our game around him. But Devin Booker is capable of being the best player on a championship team, and he's going to be that here in Phoenix with us. And, of course, you know, Devin's the hardest on – like, Devin wants to be better. He wants to shoot better. He wants to score more, but also realize everyone focused on him. So now that we have Jalen healthy and Dylan – you know, came up to it, and of course you got Grayson, you got Colin, and you get a little bit more size with Mark, and obviously he was out. A lot of guys were out. You know, once these guys are all playing together, I feel like Devin, you'll see the Devin Booker that everyone knows and loves at the way you see it. But we see him in a great way already. But can he do more? Of course, everyone's going to have to do more if we want to compete for a championship. We saw that versus OKC.
Matt Ishbia is our guest here on the Burns and Gambo show. A big theme today, Matt, obviously in your press conference, was continuity and player development. And I listened to what you said, and I'm curious what the limits to that are in terms of does that mean you believe everybody's going to be back? There will be some changes. To what degree do you think the Phoenix Suns will look different in 2026-27 compared to what we saw this year?
You know, I really expect us to not look much different besides better on every aspect of the game. And what I mean by better, it means the coach will be a little better, the assistant coach will be a little better, the GM will be better, the owner will be better, the star player will be better, each player will get a little bit better. And so, like, player development and making, like, continuity is something we have not had here in a couple years, and from a coach, also the players, but also these guys play hard. And, you know, everyone throws around, I want to trade for this guy. Remember, if they don't fit the Suns' DNA, if they don't meet the way we think about, I'm not trading for them, I'm not signing them, period. And so, we saw a little bit that with, the last signing last year was a guy named Jordan Goodwin, which I think people thought we should have signed the other guy who was a good player. But Jordan Goodwin meets exactly the identity that we're talking about. And so those are the players we want on our team. So we got to re-sign Jordan Goodwin. We got to re-sign Collins Gillespie. We got to re-sign Mark Williams. We got to look at all these people and say, and then also Kaman and Rasheer are going to get more opportunity. Ryan is going to do the same thing. Like, how do we develop? Jalen Green has huge upside. And so we feel really good about the team. And, we're not going to go from 45 wins to 70 wins next year, but can we take another step in the right direction and go deeper in the playoffs and continue to develop this team and this chemistry towards winning a championship here?
What about a guy like Grayson or a guy like Royce? Are they avenues in which you can possibly improve your roster to make that little jump that you're looking for next year, or do they fall under the banner of continuity and let's just kind of keep everything the same going into next season?
So I really think highly of Grayson and Royce, and I hope they're both on our team next year, and I expect them both to be on our team. They're under contract. There's no reason for that. So my perspective is Grayson wasn't as healthy as we like. We got to get him healthy. Royce played 75, 77 games. He was healthy. He was Mr. Reliable, started a lot of those games. How do we continue to develop those guys? Now, those guys, Royce is the oldest guy on our roster. Doesn't mean he's going to get 10 times better, but how does he maintain that level of play? And so, honestly, I know it's not what fans think is not sexy. It's not exciting to say we're going to have the same team go back out there, and we were the 8th seed this year. Why are we doing that? I'm saying everyone's going to get a little bit better. We're the most unhealthy team in the NBA this year. More starters missed games in our team than anyone in the NBA, and we still outperformed expectations if you look at that list. And so, hey, can we be a little healthier next year? Can we get better? Can we have some continuity? Can our schemes work a little better? Can we focus on some things that didn't work as well? And can we go to winning 48, 50, 51 games to be a top 4, top 5, top 6 seed in the West, win a playoff series? Like, let's take steps towards the championship. We don't need to try to, take a big gulp right now and make changes that maybe do not align with the identity and the vision that we have.
You guys did some of the best maneuvering I've ever seen an NBA team do to move from the end of the second round to the beginning of the second round to get Rasheer Fleming. And there were times this season we were just mesmerized by the kid's athleticism and length, and three-point shooting at times was great. Even the other day, he comes into the game within 10 seconds, he blocks a shot by Gilgeous-Alexander. What do you need from him for him to be able to be a focal point of your roster next year, maybe even a guy that could start at power forward? What does he need to do?
Yeah, well, we see that. That's what he knows his goal is. Kaman knows his goal is the same. Like, how does these guys get to starter minutes and compete at that level? That's going to be the best version of our team in 2 and 3 years, right? And so Rasheer is an amazing athlete, an amazing kid, and he's going to continue to get better. Now, we got some work in the G League this year, and then at the end of the season, he started playing more and more minutes. He's a great shooter, but he's also long, athletic. He's going to get stronger. He's going to get more experience this summer. He's going to work on his offensive game as well and his awareness on defense, and then continue to, increase his athleticism along with his strength. And I think he's a very, very viable person to be a starting power forward, whether it's beginning of next year, the end of next year, or the year after. He's on that trajectory, and I expect that from him, and I think that he expects that of himself.
Dylan Brooks sent a letter out to the fans yesterday or today just talking about, how much the fans embraced him and showed him the love, and he came here with a chip on his shoulder, and thanks to all the fans for riding with us. He was a big part of your ability to turn things around, right? A big part of like an identity and a toughness and a physicality and an attitude that you guys were lacking, and leadership. I will ask you this, and it might be a tough question, but he is eligible for a contract extension. Do you see Dylan being a big part of the future for the Suns going forward?
Yes, I do. Dylan was a target in the Kevin Durant trade. Him and Jalen Green were two people that we coveted. Jalen for his immense youth, athleticism, and upside. Dylan for his grit, his toughness, his leadership, and his all-around winner mentality. And, of course, we got Kaman and Rasheer in the deal, too. So it turned out to be fantastic. With that being said, I expect Dylan Brooks to be here. We want Dylan Brooks to be here, whether it's an extension. How do we do that? How do we make it so he wants to be here long-term? And I think he does. I know he does, actually, and we say it that way. And we've got to figure out how to make that all work. And so, yes, I do expect to figure out a way to keep Dylan long-term, because I do see him part of a championship team here in Phoenix over the next 3 to 4 years.
Matt Ishbia is our guest here on the Burns and Gambo Show. I kind of want to ask you the same question, but I want to ask you about Jalen. And I was listening to the words of Brian Gregory talking about Jalen Green, Devin Booker, and Dylan Brooks, how they didn't get enough time to make it work together. Are you convinced that with those three that can be your nucleus of a great basketball team moving forward for the next several years?
Absolutely, I am. Absolutely, I am. I think, people, the word continuity, I said it, and, to give everyone credit, like we haven't had it in the last couple of years anyways. And so now that we have this coach that we love, players that we think highly of and we love that can develop, like now we got to get some time on the court. Like we traded for Dylan and Jalen in the last summer, and the time that Dylan, Jalen, and Devin had was like the first 3 days of training camp before Jalen got hurt. And then it was, 50 games into the season before Jalen was really back, and Dylan was out for 18 of those games, and Devin was out for 12 of those games, the last 30 games of the year. And so to us, let's get those three guys together. Let's put size around them. Let's put athleticism around them. Let's put some defensive players around them, and let's see people try to stop that group along with compete with that group the Suns way. And so we feel really good about it. You got guys off the bench like Colin and Grayson. You got other players that Goody, we obviously know about Goodwin. And we've got to keep these guys together. Oso was great this year. Ryan's continuing to develop. I feel good about this roster. And, are we going to win 70 games next year? I'll tell you, I don't think so. But I do think that we're going to compete, and we're going to be better next year than we were this year. And I think the fans are going to love watching our team compete every single night.
All right. More importantly, before I get to my last question, because I got one on the anti-tanking I want to ask you about. But, in the All-Star game, you hit this jumper over Taco Fall. I could have sworn you got fouled on that, too. Why not? I've watched your players complain to the refs all year long. Why
challenge
not?
it. Yeah, do a challenge thing.
Why not, start yelling at the ref like, hey, that's an end one right there. You should have been at the free throw line.
Yeah, well, thank you for watching that. I had a good time out there and trying to compete, trying to make sure the Suns' standards were delivered by the owner, too, on the court. And so I was hustling around there, made a nice shot over Taco. He was a big guy. Man, I didn't even see the rim after I threw it up there, and it went in. So
well, that was fun. That was fun to watch. I know you had a good time. Leave me with this. The NBA changed the rules on anti-tanking. You've got some draft picks going out in the future. You still have 3 draft picks in the next 4 years that are first-rounders that are yours. What's your overall opinion on the new rules and how it affects the Phoenix Suns?
Yeah, so first, the rules haven't been approved yet. We vote on them in a month, the owners do. And so, but I think what you're hearing about those rules, the key is this. People trying to purposely lose is bad for the integrity of basketball. It's not right. It's not the right thing to do. And the point of it is when teams aren't good, they get good picks. But that's not what's happening. Good teams are purposely losing games to get good picks, and it's throwing off the whole ecosystem, if you think of it that way. And so, and I don't think ecosystem is the right word, but you get my point. And so it's not working. And so we have to make changes, and we have to not incent people to do that. Now, you don't have to worry about us in Phoenix because I don't care what it is. We ain't never going to try to lose games. We're never going to say, let's not play our players so we can lose games and get better picks. I don't believe in it. We're going to always try to compete at the highest level. There's going to be years we have bad years and years we have good years, but we're going to always try to compete. And so these rules will change, and to me, that's a positive for us because we ain't never going to do it. And also this year, if you understand it really closely, we probably would have got the 5 or the 6 seed, well, at least for the 6 seed, if there was not tanking going on. We lost to some of the, in quotation, tanking teams early in the year when they weren't trying to tank. And a lot of our teams that were competing for those last couple spots in the playoffs actually played them at the end of the year and got wins when the other team wasn't even competing. And that throws off the integrity of basketball. It's not right, and I'm very against it.
All right, I'll say goodbye on this note. I want to give you an opportunity if you want to thank my partner for all the money he spent at the Rah-Rah Room. I had the Bronzino, I had the calamari, I had this incredible kale salad. I went with the ice cream sundae. Our guy there, what was the waiter's name? He was a great guy. He said, Matt Ishbia, Jared said, Matt always gets the ice cream sundae. I said, well, then give me the damn ice cream sundae. I'm going to have that too. So I know it contributed to the bottom line because it was a pretty big payday. So just if you wanted to say anything to my friend.
You. Well, my favorite part is that your friend lost his bet. That made me happy to hear. And what I'd like to do is next year I'm going to take both you guys to lunch or dinner on me there, and we'll talk hoops and get ready for a great season. And so I owe you a nice meal there too, but I appreciate you guys being there and supporting us, supporting the team, and all that you guys do for the fans. Everyone loves hearing what you guys talk about. We appreciate the support, and at the same time, we're going to keep building, and we're just getting started.
I might go for the tomahawk steak if you're paying, though, just so you know.
That sounds lovely, Matt.
Right.
That sounds lovely.
I'm going to come out. I got you. Tomahawk steak coming through.
Thank you, Matt. We appreciate your time very much. Thank you.
Take care, guys.
You got it. That's Matt Ishbia, owner of the Phoenix Suns, our guest here on the Burns and Gambo Show. Let's take a break. We can get a little caught up a little bit. Then when we come back, we'll react briefly to what Matt had to say to us next here on the Burns and Gambo Show.
Bickley and Marotta mornings.
If you had to diagnose it right now, league-wide, what quarterback as a rookie has the best chance to start week one for his respective team? It's Carson Beck for the Cardinals. Look, had this happened in the second round, I would be way more bothered by it. And I know you said third round still bothers you. It bothers me less. Fourth round would have been a lot more palatable. Yeah. But this is one of those situations. You kick the tires. If you find some lightning in a bottle, good on you. If not, it doesn't prevent you from getting a quarterback at the top of the draft next year.
Bickley and Marotta, mornings on Arizona Sports, the local sports leader.
Hey, this is Ron Wolfley for Aria Dental Implant Center. I'm here right now with Cynthia and Leo, who have both had the all-on-4 dental implant treatment. What was your experience with Dr. Joe like? Cynthia.
He's a genius.
Mm-hmm.
He's amazing. He's great with his staff. He makes you feel like family.
So if you guys were to be asked by somebody that is listening right now, would you get the all-on-4 dental implant treatment? Why would you tell them to go to Aria Dental Implant Center?
They take care of you. The price is right. They work with you. They have a great system there.
Yes, they do.
Can't beat it.
And what about your confidence level as well?
You remember when you used to be really confident in your 20s and 30s?
Yep.
Well, you gained that back.
Big time.
Don't listen to me. Listen to Leo and Cynthia. Go to AriaDentalImplantCenter.com. That's ARIA DentalImplantCenter.com.
Hey, it's Paul Calvisi with Bright Wealth Management President Matt Davis. And Matt, a lot of listeners tell me they're frustrated with the big box financial firms.
And I hear it every week. People get handed off from one advisor to the next, pushed towards products they don't need, and they rarely actually have a plan.
And that's the exact reason independent fiduciaries stand out.
Right. And at Bright Wealth Management, we're not tied to any parent company, any product shelf. Our only responsibility is to act in the client's best interest. No sales pressure, just real retirement income and tax planning.
And people can see the difference immediately?
Absolutely. Clear advice, more communication, and a plan that actually fits their life.
And you're offering that experience to anyone listening today.
Yes. Call us at 844-726-9116 or visit us at brightwm.com and schedule your complimentary consultation.
If you want planning built around you, not a corporation, this is the time to reach out.
Again, that's 844-726-9116 or brightwm.com.
Investment advisory services offered through Foundations Investment Advisors, LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor. The content provided is for educational purposes only.
For windows and doors that combine style, performance, and efficiency, come to the Window Depot. We carry a large selection of Milgard windows and patio doors, with many options in stock and available today. Choose from a variety of colors, styles, and energy-efficient designs that can help improve comfort while adding value to your home. From new builds to window replacements, our team can help you find the right Milgard products for your unique project. Visit thewindowdepot.com to find a location near you.
It's Desert Wind Harley's pre-owned red tag sale this week. Hundreds of Harleys under the Big Tent, tagged with liquidation pricing. Save $2,000, $4,000, even $6,000 at Desert Wind Harley's pre-owned red tag sale. Good credit, bad credit, no credit, no problem. Desert Wind Harley is accepting 100% of all credit applications. Desert Wind Harley's owner says 50 used bikes must go this week. You don't need perfect credit, don't need a cash down payment. Desert Wind Harley Davidson is the largest volume Harley dealer in the state. Pre-owned red tag sale ends this Sunday.
No payments for 7 months, no interest for 90 days with approved credit.
How was your break?
It was great until I stopped for gas. Prices have gone up almost $1 with no end in sight. I might have to start watching how much I drive.
That's exactly why I use Upside. I never pay full price for gas with the free Upside app.
Upside?
Yes, Upside. It's the free app that gives you cash back just for buying the gas you're already buying. So even with the rising gas prices, I'll never have to limit how much I drive.
Does that actually add up to anything?
Just last year, I made over $200 with the Upside app.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the free Upside app right now.
Download the free Upside app to earn cash back on the gas you're already buying. Use promo code THRIVE25 for an extra 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. You can cash out anytime, right to your bank account, or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code THRIVE25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first fill-up. That's THRIVE25.
Offers vary by user and location. Go to upside.com for terms and conditions.
I'm Mitch Varel. This with Trending Now. It's presented by Parker & Sons Heating, Cooling, Plumbing, and Electrical.
I'm proud of what we did this year. I feel great about what we did this year. But at the same time, I want more, and we want more, and we're going to have more.
Phoenix Suns and Mercury owner Matt Ishbia earlier today in his end-of-season press conference, and perhaps you just caught the tail end of Burns and Gambo's conversation with the owner of the Suns and Mercury. There was a stress of an offseason centered around continuity and development when Ishbia and general manager Brian Gregory spoke earlier today. For everything else that they said, you can read more right now on ArizonaSports.com and the Arizona Sports app. The positive from today's Diamondbacks finale, Ildemaro Vargas extended his career-long hitting streak to 26 games. That's 23 straight to begin the 2026 season. The negative, the Diamondbacks were blown out for a second time in 3 games. Today, a 13-1 final at the hands of the Brewers. The Diamondbacks will start a new series on Friday afternoon in Chicago against the Cubs. And then in NFL news, defensive tackle Calais Campbell not done playing and has reportedly signed a 1-year deal with the Baltimore Ravens. Campbell returns to Baltimore after a 3-year stint at the beginning of this decade. This report is brought to you by Four Peaks. Text SEATS to 620-620 for your chance to win 4 tickets to the Saturday, May 9th Diamondbacks home game versus the New York Mets. Plus, you'll get food and beverage credit. That's SEATS to 620-620. More Burns and Gambo right after this.
We're chatting with our guest, always safety first, 811 Megaphone Man.
Call 811 before you dig.
You never stray from your mission of letting homeowners, landscapers, and excavators know you should always call 811 before you dig.
Call 811.
Call for both small and big jobs. And 2 working days in advance?
811.
Any parting words? And I'm guessing they will be...
Call 811 before you dig.
Brought to you by Southwest Gas.
811.
Hey guys, Tom Chambers here with a faster way to pay off your mortgage from my friends at Galaxy Lending Group. The Ownership Accelerator loan helps you pay off your home decades faster using the income you already make without changing your lifestyle. Many Galaxy clients pay off their homes in 5 years, not decades. Schedule a free 10-minute call to see how much faster you could pay off your mortgage. Visit GalaxyLendingGroup.com/radio or text Galaxy to 620-620.
NMLS ID 142766 and Equal Housing Lender. Best today rates may apply.
Wolf, you've had All Pro Shade concepts at your house for a couple of years now. What is one thing you'd tell your listeners about them?
Oh, buddy, you gotta have shade.
Exactly. You want to cool down your patio?
You gotta have shade.
That's right. And how about a little privacy?
You gotta have shade.
Want a comfortable outdoor space for your whole family to enjoy?
You gotta have shade.
Wolf, can you say anything else?
Do like I did. Get your free estimate at allproshade.com. That's allproshade.com. Because you gotta have shade.
I'm Ultima Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Every time one of my children started driving, it was terrifying. I am quite aware of the dangers being on the road. Thousands of accidents happen across the country. We see it every day. These families' lives will be changed in an instant. We fight for these families as if they were our own. We've become America's largest injury law firm by winning cases just like these. If you've been injured in a car accident, call us.
Injured? Dial #law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Support comes from Amazon Business. Unlock smart business buying with fast, free delivery on millions of items and practical AI innovations that automate repetitive tasks so you can make smarter decisions faster. Learn more at amazonbusiness.com.
Save $2 when you buy 2 cans of Superior Products Coverall Tire Dressing. Plus, get 4 times O Rewards points now at...
This is a test of the emergency alert system. This is only a test.
Five times. Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor. I'm so glad I did. Visit NoTimeToWait.com. Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Let's talk about the Ford F-150 because look closely. You see hard work, great adventure. Paul Calvisi here. Considering the bloodline, it's no surprise F-150 trucks are icons of muscle and performance. We're talking on the job site, hauling the family camper, off-roading. The F-150 has us covered. And now take the 2026 Ford F-150 truck. Whether you're looking for the perfect work truck or a powerful weekend warrior, Ford has a powertrain fit for the job. Besides Ford, is the #1 selling truck brand in Arizona. And right now, get 4.9% APR financing for 60 months plus $2,500 in bonus cash, and Ford owners get an additional $500 in owner loyalty cash on a 2026 Ford F-150 STX. But hurry, it all ends April 30th at our Desert Ford dealers. Just click buyfordnow.com. Based on S&P Global Mobility Retail U.S. new vehicle registrations for the truck vehicle type CYTD October 2025.
The Burns and Gambo Need to Know Social Poll Update. Presented by Sanderson Ford.
All right, let's update our Twitter poll question of the day, and then we'll give you our reaction to the conversation we had with Matt Ishbia. For the Twitter poll, Suns-related question. Let's turn it over to Lauren. Get an update on this.
All right, guys. Today we're asking, who do you most want the Suns to bring back in free agency if they can only bring back one of the following? Is it Jordan Goodwin, Colin Gillespie, or Mark Williams?
It's super close between Colin and Jordan. We both agree. They're both so valuable. I hate to pit one against each other, but you're asking a question, so we will. But, man, they're both very valuable, and I respect the heck out of both of those guys. I'm going to give a slight lean to Colin, because I'll go with the ball handling importance over the defense, but it's very, very close.
Very close for almost exactly the same reasons. I'll go with Colin as well for the shot making and the threes that are so important in this offense. So I'll say Colin.
This poll question has gotten a little bit closer since the first time we checked in on it. 55% going with Colin Gillespie, 38% going with Jordan Goodwin, and 7% going with Mark Williams.
All right, thanks, Lauren. Appreciate that. That's Lauren with our poll question. You can find it on our Burns and Gambo Twitter page or X page, whatever you want to call it, at Burns and Gambo. One word is where it's at. Again, our thanks to the Suns and Matt Ishbia for joining us here. Thanks to Matt for extending the invitation for us to go dine at the Rah Rah Room, not on my dime. I appreciate that, too.
Yeah, well, you spend so much money, he probably feels like it was
He probably feels a little bad about it. What was your takeaway from that, from our conversation with Matt?
Dillon Brooks.
Okay.
He's eligible for a 4-year extension for $125 million. He wants him to be here long term. You can play this thing out. What I took out of that is they're going to re-sign Dillon Brooks.
Okay.
They're going to keep Dillon Brooks. There's a lot of other things to check out, but if you ask me, the first thing that pops to my mind, okay, that's juicy.
Yeah, he's eligible for a 4-year, $125 million contract extension that would basically keep him around for 5 more years because he's going into the final year of his deal. The only caution I would have is age-based, is you got to be cognizant of the fact that halfway through year 1 of his new 4-year deal, he would turn 32. And so you got to be, careful about what's Dillon Brooks going to look like when he's 34. What's Dillon Brooks going to look like when he's 35? You don't want to just blank check it and give him a 4-year, $125 million deal.
How old's Draymond Green? 38?
But you don't think he's a little bit of a unicorn?
I do. 36. Draymond's 36.
He could be a little bit of an outlier in this equation in terms of.
And I'm looking for an example that might fit. I'm just trying to say some of the tougher defensive-minded players. Although Draymond's not a scorer, but Dillon was a scorer,
and that's where I would worry the comp kind of falls apart. Is that Draymond Green for Golden State really only has to worry about the defensive part. He's just not there much for offense, whereas Dillon, they very much come to rely on Dillon. Now, maybe they'll become less reliant on him offensively. Yeah. I don't know. I think that you just have to be careful, Gambo. I just don't think you can go writing checks to players who are going to turn 32 for 4-year deals because sometimes those can end very badly.
Thank goodness they didn't do an extension with Durant.
Right?
Probably still would have been able to trade him, but I'm glad that they didn't.
Yeah?
Yeah, sometimes the best moves are the moves you don't make. Could you play it out for a year? But you also,
I'm not saying not sign him. I'm just
worried
saying
about the down the road.
4 years is what I'm worried about.
Could you get him for less?
I don't know. Would he accept less? Would he accept fewer years?
3-year deal?
Or do you want to just lean right into how popular he seems to be with the fan base? Because he is awfully popular with the fan base.
I'd like to get him for a lesser year.
It's just 4 years is a lot,
I'd like to.
You just gotta be careful because at the end, that deal, given that you're already paying Bradley Beal all that money to not be here, and you're paying Devin Booker a lot, and you wonder about his decline and whether that's happening. You just got to be careful about Dylan Brooks being in year 3 of that deal. What else? What else did you take away from it? Anything else? Was that the main one?
No, I think the most important thing, like you asked him about the Grayson and Royce thing. It's like, get Grayson healthy, and we like Royce. I thought might have been, because they got Highsmith too. There might have been something like, yeah, we're going to have to move a player somewhere to try to, get something that we lack. But if Fleming's going to play power forward next year, and I think there's a chance that he will play a lot of power forward next year for them, is how much is the emphasis on going to get a power forward? Do you still need one? Because remember, you've got Highsmith, you've got Grayson, and you've got Royce. I think you should move one of them.
I do, too.
think you should move one of them, but there was no indication there that they would do that. So that was it. He said, we got to get Grayson healthy.
Yeah, that to me is kind of what stood out from the whole conversation is I understand they are banking on player development and they are banking on continuity. I don't know how you can go into this offseason and not make some changes. Every team changes. Every roster changes. Like I just don't know, you run it back with exactly the same guys next year, and maybe it is enough that Malawach gets a little better and that Fleming gets a little better and that everybody stays healthy. But for them to make, what are we talking about? Them making the leap from a 45-win team
to 48 to
48 or 50? I mean,
3 to 5 games.
If they had stayed healthy this year, they probably would have ended up somewhere around there anyway.
Probably.
So maybe it's not going out on that much of a limb to say it. I feel like if the goal is to improve the talent around Devin Booker, I don't understand why you would say stagnant and not make any changes to your roster. How can you improve the talent around Devin Booker without changing the talent around Devin Booker?
Well, what he's saying that everybody's going to get a little better.
I know, but
everybody's got to get a little bit better, and then the talent around him is better.
I don't think that's the right path to improving around Devin Booker. I think they need to make some changes around him. Now, if you don't want to buy into the extreme of Jalen Green, okay, fine. But I do think using Grayson Allen or Royce O'Neal as a chip to change the talent around Devin Booker is something that should absolutely be explored by the Suns, because I just don't know if there's enough talent around him, even if they all do get – like, is Dylan Brooks – is he going to get better? I mean, are you going to get a better – that was career year out of Dylan Brooks. I don't know if you're going to get better than that next year. Jalen Green, if he plays more –
he's young. He
can get better. Is Grayson Allen going to get better?
He can get healthier.
He can get healthier, but that's kind of who he is.
That's available.
Royce O'Neal,
he is who he is. He is who he is.
Better.
It's Malawach. It's Fleming.
It's Gillespie. It's Oso. Maybe if Oso could just shoot a little bit better.
His hands have been great this year. I couldn't believe how good his hands were this year. He did a great job of catching those bounce passes and dunking it on those little give and goes and the pick and rolls, and he was really good at that. The alley oops, I was really impressed with him. But they're probably, to your point, there's probably 4 or 5 guys because of their age can improve, and there's probably 3 or 4 guys that probably can't improve that much off of what they are already.
Yeah, and I don't think they're gonna. And I think it is very much an age-based conversation, and I just don't think the older guys are going to get that much better. And then at the center of all of this is Devin Booker and how they're going to win a championship in Devin Booker's window with the limited resources that they have, and it does require them getting better, and it does require them improving, but they're obviously, and I do think, we talked about this earlier, I also think that publicly, when you're talking about Devin Booker, you can say you're happy, you love it, it's great, we love Devin Booker, everything about it is awesome, but I think privately behind the scenes, I don't know how you can be happy with how Devin Booker ended his season. I don't know how you can be totally endorsing of how Devin Booker ended his season, because you're right when you said it earlier. All the great stars of the NBA all face the kind of defenses and double coverage that Devin Booker did.
Cade Cunningham had 45 last night against Boncharo, who had 45 last night. Both defenses were geared towards stopping those 2 players. Neither one could. Devin Booker's got to look himself in the mirror, and he's got to figure out, look, do I want to continue this decline? Right now, Devin Booker's a top 30 player in the league. Not top 15, not top 20, he's top 30. I don't want next year Devin Booker to be top 40. Like, he's got to figure out, how do I reverse this and get a little bit better? How do I now, make a little bit of headway towards being the player I once was? And I think he's got to get stronger. He's got to hit the weight room more. He's got to get a little more physical, because he's not the most athletic guy, and he never will be. But he could get a little bit stronger, which would help him. So I do think that he's got to improve quite a bit for them to get to where they want to go.
I just hope they're look. Far be it for me to say they're wrong. I was the guy who thought they were going to win 31 basketball games and had to spend a lot of money to buy you lunch because of how wrong I was. So, I mean, at this point, who am I to say that they can't do all the things they say they're going to do when a year ago that's exactly what they did? They are committed to the idea of Dillon Brooks, Jalen Green, and Devin Booker working. And hopefully with more time it does. But I really have reservations about Jalen Green and Devin Booker and wondering if that pairing can work the way they need it to.
It's fair.
I really do. I just don't think Jalen Green is that type of player to complement Devin Booker's strengths.
I want to see more games. I want to see more. Jalen is young, and he can score. And he was better this year in the playoffs because he was the number 2 guy.
Yeah.
He was better this year because he didn't have to, he wasn't considered the number 1 guy.
But did it come at Devin Booker's expense? Because Devin Booker,
I don't know. I mean,
did it come at the expense of Devin Booker not having somebody who Oklahoma City was very content to let Jalen Green be Jalen Green. And until he's got a running mate in the backcourt that is a little bit more of a threat to do some of the things that Devin Booker also does in terms of passing the ball around, I don't know if that's going to change. But he's young. He can improve. Next year becomes a big year for Jalen Green. I don't know if there's a Suns player who could have a bigger year next year than Jalen Green in terms of how much importance he is to this bottom line and what they can be accomplished, what they can accomplish.
Yeah. Everybody's looking for this perfect point guard that could just set Book up to score 40 every night. I just don't know if that guy exists right now.
When we come back on the Burns and Gambo show, the Arizona Diamondbacks got back in the win column yesterday, and then today happened. That's next on Burns and Gambo.
East Valley, West Valley, North Side, South Side, and Central. Arizona Sports covers high school sports all over the Valley. Saturday mornings 9 to 11 on the Kevin McCabe Show. If it involves competition on a court, field, pitch, rink, or track, the Dean is talking about it on the Arizona Sports app and 98.7. The Kevin McCabe Show. Saturday mornings 9 to 11.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Call 877 Cars for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now or go to carsforkids.org.
7 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
Hey, basketball fans, Tom Chambers here reminding you that just like in a game, you need a solid defense for your home. And that starts with a reliable roof from Right Way Roofing. Hey, Lori, as owner of Right Way Roofing, what sets you apart from the competition?
Our team tackles any roofing challenge, from shingles to tile to foam roofing. We'll make sure your roof wins against the toughest opponents: rain, wind, and even those scorching summer days.
Make Right Way Roofing your MVP.
We're Right Way Roofing and we do it right. We'll always keep you watertight.
Mother's Day is almost here. What do you get for the one packing lunches, washing uniforms, and trying to make space for everyone and everything? Give her some room. Space Solutions designs, builds, and installs custom mudrooms, closets, and pantries she'll actually love. And with a Space Solutions gift card, she gets to pick exactly what she wants. Give Mom the space she deserves. Text SPACE to 620-620 or visit spacesolutionsaz.com. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey everybody, Dan Bickley here, and we all know how important the home court advantage can be in sports, and that's exactly what you'll get from my friends at Advanced Window Products. They are a local window and door manufacturer that sells directly to the public. They've got their own factory right here in the Valley, which means you get faster turnaround times, no middleman markups, and windows that are custom built for your home, not generic sizes, retrofitted on site. Now, most window companies are just resellers, not Advanced Window Products. They'll build your windows, install your windows, then guarantee them for life, and that installation is done by vetted, trained, full-time crews, not subcontractors. Their windows also engineered for Arizona's extreme climate, which lowers your energy bills year-round, and during their spring special, you can get $2,500 off the purchase of 10 or more windows. Give them a call at 480-764-2110. Find them online at advancedwindows.com.
Baseball fans know a rally is one of the game's greatest moments. But in real life, some comebacks take more than determination. After a brain injury, the road back can feel like the longest inning. That's where Barrow Neurological Institute steps in. With advanced neurorehabilitation, Barrow specialists help patients rebuild strength, regain independence, and return to the life they love. Barrow Neurological Institute. It matters where you get your neurorehabilitation care. Visit barrowneuro.org.
Luke Lipinski back to tell you about Orchard. How's this for a plan? You find your dream home and you just move in right away without the frustrations of waiting around to sell your old place first. Sounds perfect, right? Well, that's exactly what Orchard's Move First, Sell Later program lets you do. If you find the new home you want, that's a big deal, so buy it now, then sell the old one later, and here's how. Orchard gives you cash so you can buy and move into your new home first. You can do it on your timeline. You don't have to wait around. You don't have to do any showings. You don't have to do any double moves. If you ever tried to do a double move before, you know you don't want to do it again. Then the Orchard experts take it from there. They handle repairs on your old home, and they make price-boosting upgrades. Once they're done, a local Orchard agent will list and sell your home for top dollar, and they can do that because their agents are some of the most experienced around town with smart tools and products to help you attract the right kinds of buyers. Orchard's Move First program gives you the freedom to sell your old home later so you can focus on buying and moving into your new home now. If you're ready to find out how much your home is worth, visit Orchard.com for your free home valuation. That's Orchard.com.
KMVP FM Phoenix.
Live from the Casino Arizona and Talking Stick Resort Studio.
Arizona Sports, the local sports leader.
I'm Mitch Vareldes with Trending Now. It's presented by Parker & Sons Heating, Cooling, Plumbing, and Electrical.
I'm proud of what we did this year. I feel great about what we did this year. But at the same time, I want more, and we want more, and we're going to have more.
We want more. We want more, Phoenix Suns and Mercury owner Matt from today's Diamondbacks finale. I know it was funny, but you know it was not funny, Burnsy? The Diamondbacks 13-1 loss. Just dreadful. Second blowout loss in 3 games. The good news that I was trying to get to before I choked all over myself. Ildemaro Vargas extended his career-long hitting streak to 26 games. That's 23 straight to begin the 2026 season. D-backs will be back in action tomorrow afternoon. They're in Chicago taking on the Cubs. And then in NFL news, defensive tackle Calais Campbell not done playing. He's reportedly signed a 1-year deal with the Baltimore Ravens. This report is brought to you by the Window Depot. Did you know the Window Depot is more than just windows? We have doors, skylights, cabinets, countertops, even flooring. Proud partner of the Arizona Diamondbacks. Check them out, thewindowdepot.com.
Hey, it's Jesse. What is going on with the Arizona Diamondbacks? We'll dive into that tomorrow at 10 a.m. It's Wolf and Luke on Arizona Sports 98.7, the Arizona Sports app, and the Arizona Sports YouTube channel.
As the 0-2 is cut on and missed, Woodford with a perfect ninth. He strikes out 2, and the Brewers win this one by a final score of 13-1. They humble the Diamondbacks in the rubber match. And for the D-backs, it is off to Chicago.
That's how our day started here on the Burns and Gambo show. We were a little late getting on the air because we caught the tail end of that baseball game and kind of bled over into our show. The rubber match of the 3-game series against the Brew Crew, and all you need to know is that for the 4th time this season, James McCann had to pitch. And that's really, other than Ildemaro Vargas, and his hit streak continues. I don't know if there's anything else you need to know about today other than for the 4th time this year and the 2nd time this week, James McCann had to throw an inning at the end of the game.
Yeah, you know, to be honest with you, we could have told you very early in that baseball game that was going to happen. How many pitches did Michael Soroka throw in the first inning?
25,
35.
35, that's right.
I think 35. He threw 35 pitches in the first inning, and it was only 3-0. But by the end of the 3rd inning, it was 6-0. And at that point, you're like, okay, we're going to see McCann at some point in this game. And then it was 8-1 in the fourth. And you're like, yeah, this is not. And then it was 11-1 in the sixth. You're like, yeah, McCann's going to come in this game. Now, the interesting part is that Woodruff had to leave the game in the second inning for the Brewers. His velocity was down. He looked into the dugout. And then he came out, they took him out, they gave Anderson as much time as he wanted to warm up. You had a lot of opportunities. You had basically 8 innings against their bullpen to try to make some headway and make up some ground. They were great. Their bullpen, in 7 2/3 innings, they gave up 2 runs. They used 5 different relievers, so their bullpen was really good in this game today.
Yeah, and I gave you that wrong number because I'm looking at a tweet from Alex Weiner here. It's the last 3 starters we've seen from the Diamondbacks. In the first inning of the last 3 games for the Diamondbacks, their starters have thrown 35, 25, and 28 pitches. This is the problem for the Arizona Diamondbacks right now. Starting pitching that not only can't get deep into games, they're setting that up by not having efficient first innings.
Lots of walks.
That sets up the rest of their appearance for absolute failure. 35, 25, and 28 pitches in the first inning alone from your starters in your last 3 games against the Brewers.
I felt like he was 3-2 on everybody. Soroka.
All the time.
3-2, 3-2. Foul ball. All of a sudden, you got 35 pitches in the first inning. You're not long for that game. And it's a disaster. It's not. The starters have to do a better job of pitching deeper into these games, or they're going to wear this bullpen out. That's why. Listen, you could, and Lovello hates it, right? Lovello hates having to put McCann in these games, but it's like, what's my alternative? Blow another guy in the bullpen and make another guy throw another inning? Like, I can't keep doing that. So, once the game's out of hand, they're going to go to a position player. There's a rule in baseball, and once you cross that, once you're eligible to put that guy in, you're going to put him in to save your bullpen.
Here's Troy Lovello after the game on James McCann.
Totally. I hate having a position player pitching games. I do not like it at all. Probably one of my least favorite things in baseball. But when you ask a position player to go out there and give you that extra inning so you're all gassed up for the next city, in this case Chicago, it was great. It was a fantastic job. And he never bats an eye. I can cold call him and have him go in a game without stretching. Never blinks. I can ask him to pitch. I can ask him to do anything. He's just a great teammate.
Look, I know we throw a lot of numbers at you and stats at you if you're listening or watching the show on YouTube. This comes from Jessica Brand on Twitter. It was retweeted by Bob Nightingale. 4 pitching appearances by James McCann ties James McCann with Christian Bethancourt in 2017 for the most by a position player before May since at least 1901.
Oh, my goodness.
You have to go back 125 years to find a position player who has made more appearances pitching before May 1st than James McCann has with the Arizona. Only one other guy.
There's no way they mentioned who it was, is it?
His name is Christian Bethancourt.
Oh, that's the guy in 1901?
No. The guy in 2017.
Oh, I want to know the guy in 1901.
McCann is tied with. I have no idea who the guy in 19...
I believe that guy is Johnny Longarms or something.
Johnny Spiderlegs Williams. Yeah.
I'd like to even know what team that guy was on.
Yeah, I mean...
No, it's...
Who knows?
He's going to... he's going to make 4 or 5 more, because these starting pitchers, when they it's either really good or really bad, right? Where's the in between, right? Where's the in between on these starters?
It's such a great point, because before the last 9 starts, Diamondback starters were rocking an ERA of 3.40. It was the 9th best in the league.
They were crushing it.
So before these last 9 starts, Diamondback starters were the 9th best in the league. In their last 9 games, Diamondback starters are rocking an ERA of 10.69.
Here's what I got to find out about this. Usually a team has like 1 long reliever in their bullpen. They need more.
Yeah.
Like they might need another long reliever. They might need 2 Brandon Pfaadt.
Yeah.
2 guys that could go 4 innings, 5, 4.5, 5 innings, 4 1/3, whatever it is. Like they got a lot of Ginkel's a one inning pitcher. Thompson's a 1 inning pitcher. Seawald's a 1 inning pitcher. Loizaga's a 1 inning pitcher. Just go through it. Everybody's a 1 inning pitcher. You need some guys that can give you length.
Yeah.
And they don't have a whole lot of those guys.
No, because Fott, I mean,
Murillo's a one-inning guy.
Once Fott gives you 3 or 4 innings,
He's done for 4
cooked.
days.
He's done for 4 days. You can't use him again.
Can't use him.
And so now you have a bunch of, and I think that's in part what Philip Abner is supposed to be, in addition to the only lefty down there, a guy who can give them some length. That's what Andrew Hoffman was kind of supposed to be. That's what Joe Ross was kind of supposed to be. That's what Taylor Rashi was kind of be. Like all these guys who were supposed to be the 5-out guys, 6-out guys. You're right. I mean, now it's Philip Abner's turn to see if he can be that guy to give them some length. And the shame of it is that all of this kind of clouds over the fact that yesterday's game was fantastic. Nolan Arenado's swinging the snot out of the bat right now.
Good for him.
4 home runs by the team. Arenado's numbers over his last 14, 15 games
Crushing
have been fantastic. The bullpen was great last night.
Great.
Ginkel was fantastic. Murillo was awesome. Paul Sewald was great in a non-save situation. It really gave you some hope about their opportunity to win this series today against Milwaukee, and what a nice win that would be. And then another starter fails to go. And that's the problem. You go back and look at these last 9 games for the starters. None of them are giving you more than 5 innings. Only about half of your starters in your last 9 games have given you even 5 innings. Most of them are out after 3 or 4. You're doomed if that's what you're getting out of your starters.
You'll blow out your bullpen by mid-July, early August. You know, if you just keep this up, you need some length out of these guys. It's got to change. Look, I still like where they're at. I know they lost the series. I know if you look at their last 12 or 13 games, and it hasn't been great, but they're still 2 games over 500. Like, I don't even know what the wild card standings are. I haven't looked at them, but they're probably within a game of the wild card. You know, probably within 1 game. So, they're right where they should be until they can start to get reinforcements back.
To your point, Alex Weiner just sent me this text a second ago. Their record through 30 games this year, 16-14. Their record through 30 games last year, 16-14. Mm-hmm. 2 years ago, it was 13-7. But in 23, the year they went to the World Series, 16-14. The year before that, 16-14. This is exactly where they always are after 30 games.
I've got some money on the D-backs next year going 16-14 after 30.
It's what they do. It's all they do, right? But to your point.
It's almost like, who was the coach that always went 7-10?
Oh,
7-9. Fisher. Jeff Fisher.
I'm not.
He's going 8-8.
I'm not going 7-9 again. Always win 7-9. D-backs always go 16-14.
Yes, you are, Coach. I'm just looking at the wild card
I'm
standings.
I guarantee they're within a game.
They're with a game and a half back.
Okay, I mean, so what? Close enough.
Close enough, yeah.
Like they're right where they need to be.
They're right where they need to be.
Right, and how many games have they played? 30.
30.
So you're 30 games into this. So now you've reduced 162 games down to 132. You've got to get another 10 or 20 games, stay in there, and then at some point you're going to have to make your move.
Yeah.
Like at some point you're going to want to make your move, but right now they're not in a bad spot at all. They're in a good spot.
Paul Calvisi, Ron Wolfley, and Cardinals legend Adrian Wilson.
Hey, Dom.
Live tonight from 6 until 7 at Flanker Kitchen at State Farm Stadium. It's the Big Red Rage. Meet A-Dub, get his take on this year's draft class, win yourself some prizes. Catch it right here on Arizona Sports 98.7. The local sports leader. When we come back, Devin Booker not going anywhere this offseason. What does it mean for him and them? We'll talk about it next here on Arizona Sports.
Diamondbacks baseball.
As the 0-2 is cut on and missed, Woodford with a perfect ninth. He strikes out 2, and the Brewers win this one by a final score of 13-1. They humble the Diamondbacks in the rubber match. And for the D-backs, it is off to Chicago.
D-backs Brewers reaction and D-backs Cubs previewing from Arizona Sports on YouTube, the Arizona Sports app, and 98.7 FM.
When I have questions about my money, when we have questions about our money in the Burns household, I want answers. I want them quickly. I don't want to have to wait for them. I want to be able to talk to somebody about my money, and that is yet another reason why you should look into becoming a member at Global Credit Union and doing your banking with Global Credit Union for checking accounts, for savings accounts, for loans, better rates, fewer fees, lower fees, and maybe the best part, 24/7, 365, live U.S.-based customer support. You got a question at 2 o'clock in the morning about your accounts? Get some answers. Get some answers that's going to make you feel better about your money and your situation. 24/7, 365, live U.S.-based customer support at Global Credit Union. Joining is super simple. Sign up online at globalcu.org or stop by any of their 9 Phoenix area branches and experience it for yourself. Global Credit Union, better rates, fewer fees, real savings, and the kind of service that makes your money work smarter for you.
Here in Arizona, water is part of everyday life, but it comes with real risk. I'm Andy Wilder with the YMCA, and water safety is something none of us can afford to take lightly. Drowning is the #1 cause of unintentional death for children under 4. Arizona ranks near the top nationally for these tragedies. What makes it even harder is that drowning is silent. There's no yelling, no splashing. In just 2 seconds, a child can slip below the water unnoticed. The good news is, this is completely preventable. At the YMCA, we know that children who complete formal swim lessons are 88% less likely to drown. But safety doesn't stop at the pool. It includes barriers like pool fencing, alarms, locked gates, and most importantly, constant supervision. When it comes to kids in water, 2 seconds is too long.
At Desert Wholesale Diamond, we believe buying a diamond should feel exciting, not overwhelming or overpriced. I'm Diamond Dave, a 4th-generation jeweler, and I've dedicated my career to helping people celebrate life's biggest moments the right way. I hand-select every diamond that comes through our office, making sure it has the right balance of cut, color, clarity, and carat weight to really sparkle. We specialize in custom jewelry from engagement rings to earrings and bracelets designed to reflect your style and your story. And because we keep our operation lean and personal, there's no high-pressure sales and no retail markup. For me, it's not just a transaction. It's about trust. That's why our clients return again and again. At Desert Wholesale Diamond, my promise is simple. Honest guidance, exceptional value, and a stress-free experience from start to finish.
Head to DiamondDaveCantor.com. That's DiamondDaveCantor.com. Or follow Dave on Instagram at DiamondDaveCantor. That's DiamondDave, K-A-N-T-O-R.
It's Desert Wind Harley-Davidson's Triple Zero event. 0 cash down, 0 interest, and 0 payments until fall on any new Harley this week only. Desert Wind Harley has the largest Harley inventory in the state with hundreds of bikes in stock. Desert Wind Harley has secured financing terms that can save you thousands on interest. No cash down, no payments, no interest until fall. Annual percentage rates such as 2.99% and no payments till September on any new Harley. At Desert Wind Harley's Triple Zero event. Now through Sunday. No payments for 7 months, no interest for 90 days with approved credit.
Support comes from Amazon Business. Unlock smart business buying with fast, free delivery on millions of items and practical AI innovations that automate repetitive tasks so you can make smarter decisions faster. Learn more at AmazonBusiness.com.
Hey, this is Jared, and tomorrow we'll talk D-backs Brewers. The good news is Drip Vargas continued his hitting streak. The bad news, everything else. Tune in at 6 a.m. on Arizona Sports 98.7, the Arizona Sports app, and the Arizona Sports YouTube channel.
All right, welcome back. Burns and Gambo here on Arizona Sports, the local sports leader. We had Matt Ishbia on the show earlier, about an hour ago, actually, when it was all said and done. Matt Ishbia also held a press conference earlier today, and probably the one big takeaway that everybody is talking about was Matt Ishbia's, not that it's going to be a surprise, but his very bold declaration about Devin Booker.
Devin Booker's our franchise player. I love Devin Booker. Devin Booker loves being here. Our coach loves Devin Booker. Our GM loves Devin Booker. Devin Booker's going to be here. Devin Booker's going to lead us to a championship here in Phoenix. That's what he's going to do. And we're going to build the right team around him. He's going to get better, just like I'm going to get better, just like everyone is going to get better at our organization. And at the same time, Devin Booker is who we want here. And he's great for the city, great for the community. I'll ride into a fire with Devin Booker, and I'll do it proudly. And we'll go anytime, and he's going to have my back, and I'm going to have his back, and Devin Booker's our guy. So the national media, I've learned you guys actually are in the weeds a little bit more with what we do. The national media just says stuff to say stuff sometimes, and people say stuff, and sometimes I like to respond, and sometimes I don't because it's just ridiculous. But Devin Booker's not getting traded. Devin Booker's our franchise player, and like I said, we're going to win a championship here with Devin Booker, and I'm excited to do it, and I'm excited to be next to him when we do that.
Devin Booker's got a lot of soul searching to do in the offseason. He's got to figure out, okay, am I on the decline? I was once a top 15 player in this league, and now, again, I always say he's probably around a top 30 player in this league right now. He's got to figure out how he could do more. What can he do to be better? He's got to get better. He has to get better. What happened to the three-point shot? Why has it abandoned him? Was 1 for 6 in the last game. Like, he's got to find a way to knock that shot down more consistently. He can't always just be hunting for fouls. He's got to figure out a way to score in other ways. And he's got to get stronger. Like, Devin's got to get a little bit stronger. You're not going to be more athletic. He's not going to all of a sudden be a crazy athlete. He's not. Right? Jalen's more athletic, but Book's more efficient. So Book's got to get stronger, and that will help him a lot. But he's got to figure out a way this offseason, this summer, to really invest into elevating his game back to the level it once was, because he's not the same player he once was. He's still really good, but he's not the dominant player that can take over games. And so I think that Matt's saying all the right things. You're going to support him, and you're going to hope that he can, hit the gym and work on his game to take his game back to the level it once was.
Here's more Matt Ishbia on when he was on with us on the topic of Booker, because you kind of pushed him a little bit on Book and getting better.
I guess I'd say we might have to have a slightly different version of Devin Booker as we evolve towards a championship level. Right now, we're a 45-win team, first-round exit, okay, and we have a bunch of young guys that are developing, and Devin Booker is the leader. Devin Booker is doing a lot of things off the ball, on the ball. He's doing a lot of things playmaking, and he's going to have to continue to evolve his game along with we have to evolve our game around him. But Devin Booker is capable of being the best player on a championship team, and he's going to be that here in Phoenix with us. And, of course, Devin's the hardest on – Devin wants to be better. He wants to shoot better. He wants to score more, but also realize everyone focused on him. So now that we have Jalen healthy and Dylan – came up to it. And, of course, you got Grayson, you got Colin, and you get a little bit more size with Mark, and obviously he was out. A lot of guys were out. Once these guys are all playing together, I feel like you'll see the Devin Booker that everyone knows and loves at the way you see it. But we see him in a great way already. But can he do more? Of course, everyone's going to have to do more if we want to compete for a championship. We saw that versus OKC.
I wonder how much better he can get. I wonder – the three-point shooting, the last 2 years it's been in decline. His percentage this year was actually about the same as it was a year ago. He shot about 33% from distance a year ago as well. So that's been in decline now for a couple of years. Can he get back to where he was even a few years ago? There was a great conversation on the morning show a couple of days ago, and I'm probably not going to do it justice here. But they made the point that just about every single year that Devin Booker was here, he got better. He got a little bit better and a little bit better and a little bit better and a little bit better. Has he gotten as good as he can get? Are we confusing his regression with just stagnation? You know what I mean? Like, hey, guys, the player he was 2 years ago, that's as good as Devin Booker's gonna be. And when he's not that good, we say be better. Is there better for Devin Booker? Can Devin Booker be a better basketball player than he was even a couple of years ago? Or do we just need him to get back to the level he was?
I think you need him to get back to the level he was.
And can he? And can he? That's the big question, I think.
I mean, can he do it? Probably. I mean, it's not like he's never done it before. He has done it before. It's not like he's 35 years old. He's 29. But I think it's going to take a rededication on his part, to figure that out. And again, like I said, you're not going to run faster and jump higher, but can you get stronger? Can you get more physical? Can you work on different aspects of your game? To your point on the three-point shooting, you said he was 33% this year?
And 33% last year, yes.
Do you know what he was in the 6 games between Portland, Golden State, and Oklahoma City?
He was
5 for 26.
Okay.
It's 5 for 26.
Yeah.
That's I think that's even a little. That's like 19.5%. He made 5 and he added 26. He was brutal. Like, that part of his game has to come back because, like I've said, and it's very obvious to anybody who watches the game, they're going to give him that shot now because he can't hit it, and then they're going to take away the mid-range game, which is where he really wants to get to. He's got to get those guys out guarding him on the three-point line more. Because if he does that, it's going to open up the mid-range game for him a lot more.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. And, of course, there's always room for him to get better. I think for me, it's more a function of what's around him getting better than him getting better.
And that might make him better.
I think what's around him.
Sure.
I look back to the very best years of Devin Booker, and it's hard not to see Ricky Rubio standing next to him, Chris Paul standing next to him. it's hard not to see that version of them leading to the best version of him. And I just don't know if this roster, untouched, can unlock that version of Devin Booker that we're talking about. I think it's just as much on the guys around him as it is on Devin Booker being a better basketball player.
I buy that. He needs better play. He needs better players around him.
But
the way they're going to make better players is development. They're not going to just change the whole roster around.
But better players who complement what he does better. You know?
Yeah.
Better players who Chris Paul complemented what Devin Booker did to a T. Ricky Rubio did to a T. I just don't know if this roster does, if it's just built like that. And I think we can't just ignore that part of the equation and say it's all on Devin Booker to be a better basketball player.
How do you get Devin Booker to say, I'm not always going to make the best basketball play. I need to do what's right for me. And because here's the thing. If you watch every one of those last 6 games, Portland, Golden State, the Oklahoma City, you can count the amount of times that he should take the shot and he doesn't.
Oh, of course.
Oh, you take it.
How deferring he was? Yeah,
right. There are plenty of times when he's got the shot and he doesn't take it because he's trying to make the right basketball player. He doesn't want to shoot it or whatever it is, lack of confidence in the 3. But there are times when he gets the ball and it's not open for a long period of time. But there are times like, there's your shot, take it, and he doesn't take it, and now you're not going to get that good of a look again.
You're not wrong. And it's all part of the equation. And I guess we'll find out when training camp rolls around or when we get off-season updates what it is they want Devin Booker to do differently and how. I don't want to question his commitment to it, but I do wonder what he feels like he has to do differently this offseason to get back to being that version of the player he was even a couple of years ago, to improve to where he trusts himself to take those shots at the end of these games or in the middle of these games like he didn't do in the 4-game series against Oklahoma City. I was shocked. I've watched Devin Booker play for his entire basketball life here in Phoenix. I couldn't believe how much he was deferring at the end of those games.
You could see that with Kevin Durant, but you shouldn't see that with Dylan Brooks and Jalen Green.
No, you shouldn't.
Kevin Durant, future Hall of Famer? Okay. Those other 2 guys?
Yeah.
No.
Tickets are now on sale. Do not miss your chance to see Darius Rucker live at Arizona Financial Theater on Thursday, July 23rd. It's the Songs of Summer Tour 2026 with Austin Williams and Old Crow Medicine Show. Head to the contest page at arizonasports.com for more details. How does Mike LaFleur feel about his new offensive playmaker and his newest addition to the quarterback room? That is next on the Burns and Gambo Show.
Wolf and Luke, middays 10 to 2.
I'm not going to sit here and pretend that was vintage Devin Booker against Oklahoma City. In this series against Oklahoma City, and I think to be fair, we got to count the play-in too, he didn't look like an elite scorer by any means.
He looked like he was thinking about playing the game as opposed to just playing the game. I think the responsibility that he feels for not just being the player he is, but to involve others is detrimental to his aggressiveness. I think he's trying to be something basically based on means that he really isn't. They need a point guard.
Wolf and Luke, middays 10 to 2 on Arizona Sports, the local sports leader.
Hey everybody, Dan Bickley here with my great friend Shane O'Hanrahan, GM of Chapman BMW, the guy that can make your car buying dreams come true.
It's true, Dan. I can't tell you how many times somebody has called or emailed me and asked for me by name and said, hey, Dan Bickley sent me to get the hookup. And you know what? We make it happen. So put me to the test. I will make your dreams come true.
That's Chapman BMW, 2 great locations.
1 great experience.
Homeowners, did your home expire on the market unsold? It happened to more than 30,000 sellers last year. Now, spring is here when homes can sell for more money, but you need the right agent. Call Carol Royce with Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. Carol has thousands of buyers in waiting and proven systems to create demand for your home. That's why she can guarantee in writing to sell your home at your agreed to price and time frame, or Carol will buy it. Call Carol Royce today or visit carolhasthebuyers.com. Carol and seller must agree to price and possession.
Hey, I'm Ron Wolfley, and I'm sitting here with Garrett Lee, co-owner of Moving Team 6. Moving season is quickly approaching, and I didn't even know there was a moving season. How would you advise people?
Actually, the month of May is National Moving Month. That's right, we have a National Moving Month. Yes, we will be busy this summer, so we always recommend Call us as soon as possible. Let us come out, do an on-site estimate. Let us meet you.
If you've got a move coming up, go to movingteam6.com for more information.
Your move is our mission.
I'm Dan Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Last year, millions of people called us for representation. Why? Because trust grows when you win, and we've won a lot. Over $30 billion and counting. When you call America's largest injury law firm, you're calling a family. You're calling an army, our army. You're calling somebody who will fight for you. Injured? Let our family fight for your family. Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com.
Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com. Arizona lawyer will handle Arizona cases. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome.
Progressive knows you could have easily taken the freeway, but you took the scenic route to see a waterfall and an oddly busy boiled peanut stand. Discovering the unexpected is exactly why you bought an RV, so protect it with a bundle from Progressive. Because although you may be 3 hours behind schedule, you're 6 jars of jam richer and possibly enrolled in a butter-churning workshop. Switch to Progressive and protect your RV, boat, or motorcycle by bundling with your home and auto insurance. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
This is the story of the one. As a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
As a social influencer, my days can be busy. 4 a.m., I hit the gym. 4:32, protein smoothie. 5:08, save time and money bundling my home and auto insurance with Progressive. Wait, if I bundle and save time, what would I do then? Just sit here and reflect? Like, why am I qualified to influence anyone? And how those weights are hollow? And half of my followers are bots.
You could save time and money bundling your home and auto when you switch to Progressive. It's one less thing to worry about during your already busy day. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Drew Brees here. Whether you're on the field or on the road, having the right team on your side makes all the difference. I learned that the hard way. On the field, you don't go anywhere without a solid O-line. And when your car breaks down, you want that same kind of protection. That's why I trust CarShield. Their protection plans help you tackle expensive repairs so that you're not blindsided.
Visit carshield.com now and join the team that's helped millions of drivers save. Coverage varies by plan. View contracts and exclusions at carshield.com.
I'm Mitch Vareldes with Trending Now. It's presented by Parker & Sons Heating, Cooling, Plumbing, and Electrical.
I'm proud of what we did this year. I feel great about what we did this year. But at the same time, I want more, and we want more, and we're going to have more.
That's Phoenix Suns and Mercury owner Matt Ishbia from earlier today at his end-of-season press conference. Ishbia and general manager Brian Gregory both stressed an offseason centered around continuity and development. They highlighted this will be the first season under their stewardship with the same front office and coaching staff going into next year. For everything else Ishbia and Gregory had to say today, plus Burns and Gambo's conversation with the Suns and Mercury owner from earlier, you can find all that and much more right now on ArizonaSports.com and the Arizona Sports app. Positive from today's Diamondbacks finale, Ildemaro Vargas extended his career-long hitting streak to 26 games, 23 straight to begin the 2026 season. The negative, the Diamondbacks were blown out for a second time in 3 games. 13-1 final today at the hands of the Brewers. Arizona will start a new series Friday afternoon in Chicago against the Cubs. And then in NFL news, defensive tackle Calais Campbell not done playing. He's reportedly signed a 1-year deal with the Baltimore Ravens. Campbell returns to Baltimore after a 3-year stint he had at the beginning of this decade. This report is brought to you by Four Peaks. Text SEATS to 620-620 for your chance to win 4 tickets to the Saturday, May 9th D-backs home game against the New York Mets. Plus, you'll get food and beverage credit, and they'll probably beat the Mets. That's SEATS to 620-620.
Hey, it's Jesse. Matt Ishbia says Devin Booker will be back next season, so how do the Suns maximize him? We'll discuss tomorrow at 10 a.m. It's Wolf and Luke on Arizona Sports 98.7, the Arizona Sports app, and the Arizona Sports YouTube channel.
Cardinals head coach Mike LaFleur made an appearance on Rich Eisen's show a couple of days ago, and there's good stuff in there about Carson Beck. We'll get to that in a minute. There's good stuff in there about Jeremiah Love. We'll get to that in a minute. But given that he used to coach with the LA Rams, what he said about Ty Simpson and what he said about Sean McVay on draft night and that press conference where McVay looked really unhappy that they took Ty Simpson in the draft. Mike LaFleur was hilarious about that when he was on Rich Eisen's show.
I was surprised at Mr. Grumpy that night because I know how excited he is about that quarterback. He always really liked that quarterback. And, you know, the one thing that we can say as coaches is, you know, you don't really get the evaluation process until you're done with the season. And obviously in LA, we went to the NFC Championship, so you kind of were a week or two behind or whatnot. But there was a lot of love for Ty Simpson in that building. So obviously I was in that building. So that wasn't shocking to me at all, you know, how it got to that point where they were all in lockstep to, you know, for the 13th pick. Obviously, I wasn't there for those conversations, but the beginning of it, I know, you know, Les, Sean, and the rest of them all were really excited about him.
Mr. Grumpy.
Mr. Grumpy.
Because like that look, like even in like that, I'm looking at the LA Times right now. NFL draft 2026 draft legacy will either be a shrewd quarterback move or Sean McVay's glum face. Because everything is just looking at him like, oh, wow, yeah.
His face, by the way, is just awful.
Yeah.
It does make you wonder. I mean, it makes you wonder a couple things. I mean, number one, there were those reports that he had like a secret meeting with Ty Simpson, you know, leading up to the draft. It does make you wonder, though, think about how many minutes / hours we wasted talking about, not wasted, but Ty Simpson to the Cardinals and speculating on it. I wonder if Mike LaFleur the whole time was like behind closed doors, like, guys, the Rams are going to take him at 13, and we're not going to take him at 3. So there's no reason for us to waste any time talking about Ty Simpson. The Rams are going to take him at 13. Trust me, I know that room.
Yeah. Well, what we reported was that they were going to stick at 3. And we also said that if they were going to move up in the first round, it was only going to be a few spots. It had to be a cheap deal. And the next day when they did the press conference, they alluded to that. They alluded to, like, we were looking at just, like, to move a couple. They didn't want to make a big move. So we reported that before the draft, that the Cardinals would be interested in getting back in the first round, but only if for certain players. But it would have to be a cheap deal. They don't want to move up 10, 12 spots because that's expensive. They're looking to move up 3 or 4, maybe 5 spots tops. It never worked out that way. They stayed where they were, and they were able to get, you know, a great guard, which they really needed in Basantis. But there was never going to be so even if Simpson was passed on by the Rams, there was never going to be a jump up that high the board. Simpson would have had to have fallen to them if they were going to get him, because they weren't going to make a big jump that was going to be costly for them to do that.
And they certainly were not going to jump anywhere near the Rams. And I guess that's my point, is that if Mike LaFleur had intel that they were going to take Ty Simpson because they liked Ty Simpson from the word go, maybe they knew all along, hey, guys, there's just no way we're going to get Ty Simpson. There's no way we can get Ty Simpson because I'm telling you, the Rams like him and they want him and they're going to take him.
I think the biggest unknown is we always talk about not, taking a player of value at a certain position, right? The Rams could they have gotten him at 15, 18, 20? Did anybody call the Rams and say, hey, I want to move up to go get this guy? Or did they just feel like we just want to get him and we don't care? Because it does seem like they could have gotten him at other spots if anybody was willing to make a trade with them, but maybe nobody was. Because at number 3, the Cardinals had their choice of Love and Reese and Mawanoa. Nobody wanted to trade up.
No.
So maybe they're just where were most of the trades in the draft? They were all at the end of the first round. Right? There weren't a lot of trades early. It was like one, but
there was one between like 6 and 9. I think they flipped. The Dolphins moved down. No, the Browns moved down. The Dolphins moved up, or something like that. But no, other than that, there weren't.
I think it's very possible the Rams didn't even have a trade partner, so they just took the guy they wanted.
It's quite possible. Meanwhile, on the topic of what they did do with the number 3 pick, Mike LaFleur was really funny, in which he said, my hope all along was that nobody called that tempted us to move because I didn't want us to go anywhere so we could take Jeremiah Love.
I think we all see the talent. He's been very productive at Notre Dame for many years. What's unique about this guy is he is a man. He walks in the room and he has this really good mix of confidence but humility, and he is who he is. And I thought he had a great press conference on Friday, just kind of showing the Arizona Cardinal world, who he is. Obviously, he's had eyes on him for a long time, but I really appreciate the person even more than the player, and the player's pretty special.
Yeah, it was kind of a funny moment in this conversation with Rich Eisen. He just said, I was so glad nobody called. I was so glad that we didn't have any temptation whatsoever to move out.
I'll be honest with you. I was hoping nobody called, and I really didn't care what the offer was because of how I feel about the guy that we got.
That's it. Thank you, Mitch. That's what I was looking for.
And I guess, and again, it was like people like the delay. Oh, maybe they're no, they weren't on the phone. They couldn't get the guy's phone number.
Yeah, they had the wrong number for
They had the wrong phone number. It wasn't. There's no delay. They would take the second Love was available. That was their guy. They were taking him at 3. There was no delay to make a deal. There were no deal. There were no calls coming in. It was just they were just trying to get his phone number. They didn't have it.
Call is coming from inside the house.
Get out of the house.
What is that? What is that from?
Scream. Yeah.
But wait, there's more.
That was good. Drew Barrymore, youngish Drew Barrymore. That was
the original Neddard Stark.
She was in Scream, Drew Barrymore?
Yeah, of course. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Oh, yeah.
I remember the other girl from, I can't remember the TV show she was
Party
on.
of 5, Nev
Party
Campbell.
of 5, yeah, I remember
Campbell
her.
was in that too. Yeah, but Drew Barrymore was in it.
I don't really like scary movies.
No?
No, I was traumatized as a kid. My parents used to take us to the movies when we were like 10 years old because we no babysitters. So I'd go see The Omen and The Exorcist and Jaws and all these movies when I was 10, like seeing the girl's head spin around when I was like 10 years old. Like I'm traumatized by scary movies.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of like jump scare movies, but like psychological horror movies, kind of that like deep-seated dread kind of stuff. That I can do, but like gory jump scare movies, I could take those or leave those.
Burnsy, real quick.
Yeah.
Did you watch Something Very Bad Is Going to Happen?
No,
on
I did
Netflix?
Not. No.
It is that kind of. I watched the first episode alone by myself at night, and I was like, someone's gonna come get me. It's not jump scary. It is the most like physical dread I've seen in new media in a long time.
What's it called again?
Something Very Bad Is Going to Happen.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And was it good or was it too dreadful to be good?
No, it changes tone a little bit.
Okay.
Which ends up making it better, but the first few episodes, straight dread.
Oh God, that sounds good. That sounds like something I'd want to watch. God, am I dark? What's wrong with me? What's wrong with me that I would want to watch something like that? What is wrong?
I like war movies.
That you do. Yes, that you do. You're very consistent
I like
on
war
that.
movies.
Yeah, very, very consistent. The warm weather is here. Arizona Sports and Fulton Homes reminds you, 2 seconds is too long to take your eyes off your kids around water. So learn about the 5 layers of protection. Text the word SWIM to 620-620. We wondered if he would retire. We wondered if he would be back. Instead, Calais Campbell wanted to play somewhere else. That's next on the Burns and Gambo Show.
Bickley and Marotta mornings.
Warner, our guest this morning.
What do you think of the Cardinals' plan, and what do you think of Carson Beck as a prospect?
I really liked Carson's tape. He played in a lot of big games. He understands how to play the position. He actually was working out with my son, EJ, during this process, and EJ was telling me how smart he was, how good he was in the room and a student of the game, which to me is, just as important as anything else. So there's a lot to like about Carson Beck. To me, the question just becomes, does he have that something extra?
Bickley and Marotta, mornings on Arizona Sports, the local sports leader.
For generations, Arizona families like mine have trusted Sanderson Ford for all of their vehicle needs. My daughter Gabriella's first car, a Ford Mustang, which, by the way, She's 30 years old now. She got it at 16. She's still driving it. She's a doctor. She makes a lot of money. Still driving that same Mustang. My daughter Kaylee's first car came from Sanderson Ford. My daughter Allie's first car came from Sanderson Ford. We have been a Sanderson Ford family for generations, and you can too. Right now, this is a great time during their anniversary sale. Not only will you get honest deals, but if you buy any new Ford and your first 5 tanks of gas are going to be on Sanderson Ford with a $500 Circle K fuel card. That's right. Buy any new Ford and your first 5 tanks of gas are on them. A $500 Circle K fuel card. When you're in the market for a new vehicle, choose the leadership and the dealership of Sanderson Ford, trusted for over 70 years. Online at sandersonford.com or visit them on 51st Avenue in Glendale.
Support comes from Amazon Business. Free your team from time-consuming procurement tasks. Discover smart business buying where unmatched selection meets AI-driven tools to simplify complex processes so you can focus on what matters most. Learn more at amazonbusiness.com.
Check engine or ABS light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Veterans and active duty service members, when your call to service ends, your mission doesn't have to. Go from GI to IT in just a few months at My Computer Career. Prepare for a high-demand career in cybersecurity, protecting people, systems, and institutions from real cyber threats. Cyber warriors are needed now. Will you answer the call? Go to mycomputercareer.edu/CWP to learn more. That's mycomputercareer.edu/CWP, an elite CompTIA certification partner. VA education benefits are available to those who qualify.
Hey, it's Chris with Ready Services Plumbing and Air Conditioning. We are a family-owned and operated business, and we have been since 1957. Our goal is to leave every customer satisfied and a smile on their face. Ready Services doesn't want to leave your home without leaving you with a 5-star experience. At Ready Services, we believe that we can do a great job at a fair price. Learn more about how we can help you at nofeeemergency.com.
Hello?
Hey, sis. Got a sec?
Yeah, what's up?
Take a look at the picture I just sent you. I'm walking into Hellsburg and want to get Mom something special for Mother's Day.
Yeah, she's done so much for us this year. Let's see. Diamond pendant. Oh, she'd love this.
Great. I'll get this, which means you're in charge of flowers.
Okay, deal.
This Mother's Day, save up to 50% on timeless gifts for Mom. Shop at a store near you or at Hellsburg.com.
Luke Lipinski back to tell you about Twin Peaks, your lodge away from home, where you can catch all the action going on in the sports world right now in a high-energy, fun, and friendly atmosphere with the scenic views that make Twin Peaks famous. Plus, they've got an entire menu made for MVPs, including burgers, stacked high and cooked to order, smoked in-house wings and brisket, and happy hour deals. What more could you possibly ask for? Twin Peaks has you covered with 5 convenient Phoenix locations now, so there's one nearby wherever you are in the valley. Twin Peaks eats, drinks, scenic views.
Summer is calling, and Playcation is back at Talking Stick Resort with rates from just $129 and no resort fees for locals. Book now for stays May 15th through September 13th for one unforgettable staycation. Enjoy $25 in free play, $25 towards your favorite spa treatment, and more. Make Talking Stick Resort your summer destination. Book your stay today at TalkingStickResort.com. Life well played. Must be 21 or older. Problem gambling? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP.
Arizona Sports, the local sports leader.
Burns and Gambo, what's on tonight?
All right, what's on tonight? The games that we're going to watch this evening, and it's brought to you by Global Credit Union. Explore the benefits of becoming a member by going to globalcu.org, your world of financial possibilities. Diamondbacks already played. Diamondbacks already lost today, losing the series. Somewhat embarrassing fashion to the Milwaukee Brewers, 13-1, the final score.
Yeah.
Rough outing for Michael Soroka. Rough outing for the starters, basically dating back the last week and a half. It has been tough going for the starting pitching for the Arizona Diamondbacks. So
got to get out of this first inning without throwing all these pitches.
You got to get out of
Stop walking, guys.
Got to do that. You got to get more than 4 or 5 innings out of your starter to give your bullpen at least a chance in these games. They'll have another opportunity tomorrow. 11:20 first pitch against the Chicago Cubs from Wrigley, that beautiful venue that is Wrigley Field, the first of 3 there for the Diamondbacks. And then we'll be on immediately after that game. NBA playoffs tonight. Goodness gracious, your Knicks.
crushing Atlanta.
96-38.
Are you kidding me?
96-38.
Oh, my goodness.
With 9 minutes to go in the third quarter.
Oh, my goodness.
Your TV feed's a little behind. I'm looking at the real-time score. Yeah, it's...
Wow. This is an ass-kicking of epic proportions.
Epic. New
the
York.
Knicks are up by
61
40?
points right now. I'm looking at 99-38. They're up 61 points.
Has anybody ever been up 61 points in a playoff game?
No idea. I don't know. Celtics are...
How were you ahead by 61?
How high up did the Mavs get?
Against the Suns? In the 40s, right?
He was in the 40s.
Okay, so nothing like this. I think there was a Hornets-Nuggets game several years ago, like in the Melo era, that was just of disastrous proportions like this one.
OG Anunoby has 29 points. He's a plus 50. Mikal Bridges has 24 points. He's a plus 48. Jalen Brunson's a plus 45. Who's the worst? Let me see. Jalen Johnson of the Atlanta Hawks is a minus 47.
I would love to know if they've said this is the largest lead since...
It's got to be...
Since when?
Yeah, it's got to be somewhat historic. 76ers right now are losing to the Celtics. No, actually, they're winning now. 76ers are winning 30-29. 8 minutes to go in the second quarter there.
Hawks going to lose any ping pong balls for this? Or teasing?
Yeah, no. Teasing. Boston can advance to the next round with a win. New York can advance to the next round with a win. Minnesota can advance to the next round with a win. Or Mitch's Denver Nuggets
I got them.
A Game 7.
They play tonight, right?
We'll see.
Lauren's already devastated. Io's been ruled out.
Oh, okay. Hey, wait, I got it. I got the answer. The Knicks lead is tied for this was 9 minutes ago. The Knicks lead is tied for the second largest halftime lead in any game in NBA history. The only larger was 50 points done by the Mavs in 2020 versus the Clippers, a team Jalen Brunson was on. The Knicks' 47-point lead at halftime is the largest in a playoff game in NBA history. So their 47-point lead at halftime is the largest in a playoff game in the history of the NBA. That's 4,550 NBA playoff games. And then a little bit later, their lead was tied. Their lead got to 50, and that was... So I don't know what 60-something would be. It's got to be the highest ever.
It's got to be.
It has to be the highest of all time.
I just hear you say all that, and I'm glad it wasn't the Phoenix Suns against the Dallas Mavericks.
Could you imagine Atlanta sports radio the next day? 61-0!
I can't imagine. No, I can't imagine.
I wonder if any sports radios have people like that.
What? Like yellers and screamers?
Yeah, ranting like.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they do.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, pretty sure they do. I don't. You think? Well, you think you're the only one who
no,
does
but
that?
61-0.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yelling on sports radio, unfortunately, is not exclusive
it's a fairly
to Arizona.
common thing. Yeah, I think it's fairly common. Boy, Calais Campbell to the Baltimore Ravens story. Last year for the Arizona Cardinals, you played in all 17 games.
A lot of snaps.
6.5 sacks.
How many snaps?
643 snaps last year, way outpacing the goal the Cardinals had set for him. The 6.5 sacks tied for his most in a season since 2018. His leadership was praised throughout the Cardinal organization.
Oh, yeah.
The whole belief was that he was coming here to play one last year for kind of his, not his hometown team, but certainly the one that drafted him.
Baltimore, like, we need help.
And for the Cardinals, this is a loss. This is a loss not having him back. And for,
I don't disagree. I don't disagree.
For him, I got to imagine there was some of it like, man, I cannot go out that way. I am still a productive player. I might be old as dirt in this league, but I'm still a productive player. And I will not have a 3-win season be my last in the NFL. Not when I can still play and do what I just did a year ago.
I don't think
for the
this
Cardinals.
is a money thing. I think this is I want to go out on a team that has a chance to win. I want to win games.
Totally.
I don't know, this losing sucks.
Yeah.
Losing beats you down. Losing beats the entire organization. Now, look what happened. Coach got fired. Offensive coordinator,
quarterback's gone. Coach is gone.
I mean, it does a lot of damage when you lose as much as the Cardinals do to a franchise. It really hurts going 0-6 in the division again, 2 of the last 3 years. I would say it was probably did the Cardinals want him back? I'd be shocked if they didn't.
I'd be shocked if they didn't.
He was so good for them. He was so productive for them. Why would you not want that guy back? But I think you're probably right. It has to do with I want to win in my last year.
There was over draft weekend, Monty was asked about Calais, and he gave a very kind of standard, yeah, we'll see. We're in contact with him, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I can't imagine they would have wanted him back. And I just think for Calais, he probably thought last year was going to be it. He was going to walk away, and what better way to do it than going out with, let's be honest, the Cardinals had expectations last year. He probably thought it'd be a really cool story to come back, play for the team that drafted him, win some games on his way out the door, and who knows, maybe even be a part of something special, a team that might compete for the playoffs. Now he's probably going to go do that with the Baltimore. It's too bad. It's too bad that things were so bad last year that maybe Calais feels like he has to go finish it with somebody else just to get the bad taste of last year out of his mouth.
I think, number one, he still wants to play. But to your point, number two, is like if I'm going to play and the money's going to be close to equal, I'd rather have a chance to win.
Yeah. I'm not doing that again. So we wish him the best. For as bad as last season was,
he was one of the bright spots.
He was one of the few bright spots. Michael Wilson was a bright spot. Trey McBride, of course, is always a bright spot. But Will Johnson was a bright spot. There weren't many. Calais was one of the top 5 best things to happen to the Cardinals last year.
No question.
Speaking of the Cardinals, Big Red Rage is coming up next. Special edition, Adrian Wilson is the guest.
Hey, Dub.
That's going to do it for us. We're out of here. We'll see you tomorrow, right after the D-backs game on Arizona Sports.
Have a great night, everyone.
You're still here? It's over. Go home. Go.
The Arizona Sports YouTube channel. Just the local sports leader doing what we do on YouTube. Serve yourself some Arizona sports for live shows, podcasts, viral clips, shorts, and more. Subscribe to the Arizona Sports YouTube channel.
Hey, basketball fans, Tom Chambers here reminding you that just like in a game, you need a solid defense for your home. And that starts with a reliable roof from Right Way Roofing. Hey, Lori, as owner of Right Way Roofing, what sets you apart from the competition?
Our team tackles any roofing challenge, from shingles to tile to foam roofing. We'll make sure your roof wins against the toughest opponents: rain, wind, and even those scorching summer days.
Make Right Way Roofing your MVP.
We're Right Way Roofing and we do it right. We'll always keep you watertight.
Hi, this is Stuart Willis, president of Asset Preservation Wealth and Tax. A personal relationship with your financial advisor really matters. It's super important that you have the ability to talk about anything you need to with your advisor. So if you have been pushed off to a call center and you don't have a one-on-one relationship with your financial advisor, then reach out to us at assetpreservationwealth.com. That's assetpreservationwealth.com.
Investment advisory services offered through Foundations Investment Advisors, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
So we just added a new member to our family, our Ford family. Yep, a new Bronco Sport. Paul Calvisier went down to our Desert Ford dealers. We're like, you know what? The Bronco Sport has everything you need: style, tech, an adventurous spirit. Like Ford says, the Bronco Sport is savagely civilized. One weekend, it's a ruddy trail. The next, a 2-track incline. With 4 models available, Ford lets us write our own story. And now, with new available packages, you can customize your favorite Bronco Sport SUV even more. And even better, right now, get a $2,500 gas card or $2,500 cash back. Plus, Ford owners get an additional $500 cash back on a 2025 Bronco Sport. Again, get a $2,500 gas card or $2,500 cash back right now. Plus, Ford owners get an additional $500 cash back on a 2025 Bronco Sport. But it all ends April 30th at our Desert Ford dealers. Just click buyfordnow.com.
We're chatting with our guest, always safety first, 811 Megaphone Man.
Call 811 before you dig.
You never stray from your mission of letting homeowners, landscapers, and excavators know you should always call 811 before you dig.
Call 811.
Call for both small and big jobs. And 2 working days in advance?
811.
Any parting words? And I'm guessing they will be...
Call 811 before you dig.
Brought to you by Southwest Gas.
811.
Hey everybody, Dan Bickley here, and we all know how important the home court advantage can be in sports, and that's exactly what you'll get from my friends at Advanced Window Products. They are a local window and door manufacturer that sells directly to the public. They've got their own factory right here in the Valley, which means you get faster turnaround times, no middleman markups, and windows that are custom built for your home, not generic sizes, retrofitted on site. Now, most window companies are just resellers, not Advanced Window Products. They'll build your windows, install your windows, then guarantee them for life, and that installation is done by vetted, trained, full-time crews, not subcontractors. Their windows also engineered for Arizona's extreme climate, which lowers your energy bills year-round, and during their spring special, you can get $2,500 off the purchase of 10 or more windows. Give them a call at 480-764-2110. Find them online at advancedwindows.com.
Hi, it's Vince Marotta, and now is your chance to take the gas or get the cash all month long at Earnhardt Ford in Chandler. Not every dealership is built the same. Earnhardt Ford has spent 75 years proving that. What sets them apart is their legacy of doing right by Arizonans. No bull, no exception since 1951. They straight talk on every price. What you see is exactly what you pay. A tailored buying experience around you. Relaxed, honest, and no pressure. And you can shop your way online, browse, and buy when you are ready. Here's the kicker. The new 2026 Ford F-150 STX is ready to impress. Lock in 4.9% APR for 60 months or walk away saving up to $8,000 off MSRP. It's your call. Shop local. Shop Earnhardt Ford. No bull for 75 years and going. That's Earnhardt Ford in Chandler or online at earnhardtford.com.
Most new vehicles include the no bull protection packages and added benefit. $699 for cars and SUVs. $1598 for trucks. After all applicable offers on select new models. Exclusions apply. $0 security deposit. APR terms limited. Available through Ford credit